team, and boy, they had a big game. Bryson Rogers had the big game opposite of him, and they have a lot of talent. And we saw Isaiah Cummings last year, John, in the playoff game. He hurt the Tigers late in the game, and he's a big guy. And we'll see how the Tigers defend him tonight. But
and the guy you know, Tony, Joe Kersey, linebacker who had to come in and spot duty at running back last week and ran for over 100 yards against Ballard.
Yeah, Kersey last week carried the ball 12 times for 148. Quantrell Wright carried it 22 times for 131. So big yards there. But Kersey, like you said, John, he got put into action. He's a linebacker. He's all over the field. They were going to use him in short yardage out of the Wildcat, and now he's become their guy. He's a big, strong runner. He's not like a real fast guy, but he'll run over you. And, with Cummings at receiver, Rogers got 10 catches for 134. It's a very talented Bulldog team. And if you're the Tigers, you have to make some decisions, I think, on defense. Do you try to, pressure Parrish? Do you help with Cummings? It'll be a good chess game tonight.
And, of course, if Jalen Bross is healthy, he's a guy that got hurt early, back injury last week that allowed Kersey into the game. Bross actually was taken off the field on a stretcher, but cleared to practice earlier this week. We will see how much action he gets as well. Last male loss was, as I mentioned, October 12th last year. The Tigers won 28-10. 28-13 over at the Durham campus last year. We'll see if the Tigers can replicate that again. We are we think we're about 18 minutes away from kickoff. Luke Conklin from Knights Travel will join you next. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. This is Larry Bissig. On behalf of the Bissig Impact Group, I want to thank you for listening to the St. X Tigers on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. These bands are just one example of the vast market.
I don't know how they let you in a suite. That's all I know.
Uses to deliver bottom-line results for our clients.
cabin for 2020 cruises at this point, John. So there's some really good deals out there. Some last-minute programs. I mean, a Christmas market this year would be some really good prices on those. And some of the fall, some of the Oktoberfest, which were really pretty much right at Oktoberfest, had a client that called me back in I guess it was July, first week of July, and I had her on a European cruise at the end of July with free airfare to Europe. So that's a $1,500 savings right there. So there's some really great programs out
in the morning. What's the office number there at Knight's Travel?
It's 502, of course, 292-4750. I probably booked as many, if not more, Viking River cruises than anybody in the city. So
my wife watched the Viking show. She wants to go on a Norse River cruise. That's crazy, right?
There's some. Oh, that's.
Don't say no. No, she's listening.
Yes. Say yes. Say yes.
All right.
That would be a great retirement trip.
And a website that people can go to and just sort of browse on their own if they don't want to talk face to face.
www.knightstravel.com. But I'll be very honest, we're not big techies.
Hard to learn a lot on that.
Yeah, call me.
Call me. All right.
I'm a whole lot better talking than I am on a website.
I'll be giving that number. Give me a winner tonight. Who you got?
I want to pull.
I know who you got.
I want to definitely pull for my Tigers. I would never pull against the Tigers. It's like pulling against Green Bay. You just don't do the green and the gold.
Are you okay after last night's game?
I had a little bit of a heart palpitation.
Okay. But you got to win. Win to win.
It's green and gold.
They don't take pictures of them.
I stay with
if
the
you
green
win, it's a win, right? Thanks, Lou. Appreciate you stopping by. Enjoy the night over in your luxurious accommodation.
I'll come back to visit you guys anytime.
Well, yeah, if you're sitting in the stands, you will. Sure you will. It's on a rainy day. Thank you, Lou. We'll be back with the head coach of the Tigers, Kevin Wallace. You're listening to St. X High School Football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Uncomfortable. Thanks, Lou. Homes, just like the Tigers enjoy. company.com. Go Tigers!
Hey, it's Jamie Miller, St. X.
There's only two words you need to know. Bargain Supply. 844 East Jefferson, near Nulu, in downtown Louisville. Bargain.
Supply.
Bargain.
Supply.
Hello, John Spears here. M&M Cartage, a family-owned transportation company since 1972. That's 47 years of experience. Run by St. X alum Don Hayden and his wife Denise. Specializing in logistical services, freight shipping, warehousing, and more for companies nationwide. Contact St. X alum Don Hayden, class of 80, or Rob Burke, class of 90, at 502-456-4586, or visit mmcartage.com for more information. M&M Cartage, the leader in regional transportation and logistics. Back at St. X, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd closing in on kickoff between St. X and Mayo. I'm joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Kevin Wallace. We didn't talk to you after the game last week. Your impressions of that fairly easy victory?
Yeah, I thought we just did things well, John. I mean, we went out in the first half and offensively
We managed the game the way we need to manage the game. We talked before the game about how we wanted to run the ball. I thought we were very efficient doing that. Defensively, I was really proud of our effort. I love the way our DBs played. I thought we made plays back in the secondary that we haven't seen our guys make. So they're starting to grow in some confidence, and I thought we kind of dominated the game up front. If I had a negative, 3 turnovers in a game is not something I really want to see. The bugaboo of the muff punt is something we can't have. And we had a couple of penalties from our younger guys that extended drives. And I think we've addressed all those things this week, and hopefully we're going to get those type of things cleaned up.
When you have an injury, whether it's to one of your players or one of the other team's players, and there's a long delay as they wait to transport him off the field, how hard is it to get your team back where they need to be?
It was really tough, and nobody wants to see that happen to an opponent or to obviously one of our own players. What we got kind of lost in that same play is KJ Kinjay.
Yeah.
That's where he fractured his ankle, was on that very same play, and he had surgery today, and we're going to lose him for about 6 weeks. So, but getting back to your initial question, it just puts a different mode of operation into a football game because you're no longer really thinking about competing. You're thinking more about, is that young man okay? And it's kind of hard to go back and play. And I'm sure it was harder for their team to do that because that's one of their teammates.
Tonight you have the Mill Bulldogs, no longer a district game, so it's a little different, but it's still a great rivalry. You talked about turnovers. Can't do that tonight.
Oh, no. Special teams and turnovers. Both of those things are going to be of primary importance because if we play as well as we can win the football game. But we can't have the errors that we've talked about that we had in last week's game and still win. And I think Mill's probably in the same situation. They have to play well to beat us. These are 2 of the better teams in 6A, and I think it should be a great night. I've told our guys all week, 247 football teams in the state of Kentucky, every player on every team would love to be where we're at tonight. How lucky are we that we get to play in an environment like this? And really, there's no finality to it. Scoreboard gets done at the end of the night, chances are we're going to play them again anyway, whether we win or lose. If we lose, we've got things we need to learn from. If we win, we just need to keep growing our confidence and going and playing. But it ought to be a really good night for high school football.
What are you more concerned about tonight, your offense versus their defense or your defense versus their offense?
I think that we had some matchup problems with their receivers against our secondary just from a height standpoint. And the Anthony kid obviously is really quick, and if he gets the ball in open space, we're going to have to tackle superbly to make sure he doesn't get big plays. We've got our own set of problems when we've got the football. I don't mean for it to sound like I think we're going up and down the field. We're not. They're really good up front, and they get 2 experienced linebackers, and we'll have our own challenges moving the ball. But if you really look at where the personnel mismatch might be, it might be their receivers against our secondary.
Coach Wolf this week, I know he was probably just a little gamesmanship, but just said, our special teams are awful right now. Are you buying into that?
No, not at all.
You don't believe him?
No, of course not. They'll be fine. We'll get the best out of Mayo that they can provide, and I hope they get the best out of St. X that we can provide.
Other than the broken ankle, the fractured ankle, how did you come out of that game?
Came out of the game pretty clean. Other than that, obviously last week in the JV game we lost Brandon Schaffner for the year with ACL. He had surgery this week, and then we lost KJ for a little while. So. We're down a little bit. Blaine Probus is going to go in and start in the offensive line, and I think Blaine will do fine.
J.P. Reed, Jalen Bullhorn named co-captains this week. What's the thought behind that?
We're letting our team choose captains every week for game captains to go along with the 2 team captains for the year, and I think our players recognize the type of effort, the type of integrity that both those guys have, and choosing them as leaders were really good choices.
I get the feeling, just talking to you right here, this is the kind of game you coach for.
Oh, well,
you're excited.
Yeah, I mean, this is what keeps me going, John. Why would I do this for this long if you didn't have something to get the juices flowing?
You weren't as animated last week, I'm just saying.
Well, I kind of knew it was coming. Tonight, I really don't know what's coming. So.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Head Coach Kevin Wallace will be back with opening guard listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
To pregame report. Stay right here for live play-by-play coverage of tonight's big game on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hey Hey St. X fans, Kyle Keurig here. I had LASIK at the Eye Care Institute, and I want to let you know the doctors there wrote a book called One Eye or Two: Insider Secrets to Help You Choose the Right LASIK Surgeon. To find out how you can
check 1, 2, 3, check 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 blah.
Exam with proud St. X grad, Dr. Brennan Green.
Hey Jimmy, you want to say hi?
I want to say hi.
There you are. Gotcha.
That's the Eye Care Institute.
Sounding good, man.
8-15.
Why are you not out there for the opening coin toss? Oh, you are. Sorry.
You're listening to exclusive coverage.
Hello again, everyone, from Brother Thomas More Stadium on the campus of St. Xavier High School. John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brickman, Todd Powers, bringing you another night of St. X Tiger football. The Tigers rolling onto the field right now with about, I don't know, Tony, 100, 120 future Tigers on future Tiger night. Becoming the tunnel and allowing the Tigers to run through it. It's a tradition every year. We got a little early this year because of only 4 home games, and we got to do it during a big game here as the Male Bulldogs come in.
Yeah, John, and it's one of our favorite nights. A big slide. John will be over on the vertical.
Yes, the vertical rush. It's different this year. You climb the middle of it, and then you slide down the side.
What will they come up with next?
I can't wait.
Okay, but John, yeah, the Tigers have just come on the field. The Male Bulldogs, if you just joined us, we're having bus issues. They got here about 15 minutes ago. They've been out working. I think we're going to have the national anthem just here in a minute. But yeah, future Tiger night. I call it Little Tiger night. Our little Tigers get to go out and look at these 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and boy, you look up to them and think, wow.
You know, we used to call it Little Tiger night. Nobody ever gave us any grief about it. Now you can't do that anymore. I don't understand it. But right now, we're going to turn the mics up and listen to our national anthem. The teams have already met at midfield for the coin toss. Jim Bringman was down there. What happened, Jimmy?
At the press box, but it is 82 degrees and is absolutely beautiful right now. I think the dark clouds have cleared, and it's going to be a beautiful night for football.
Tony, I've never been able to see the wind actually, but the Tigers did take the win. I'm a little surprised because receivers in this first quarter are going to be looking back into that sun, and it is bright and it is right in the eyes of an intended receiver going from left to right.
Well,
let's turn you back up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, the one thing is the sun is going down right now, and most of the field is actually covered in shade, John. So there's a little bit of that, but I think he probably just wanted to get his defense on the field, try to get a stop, try to prove something defensively, and we'll find out how that works as Jeff Sexton tees it up for the Tigers.
2 men deep, but Vincel Anthony is the guy to keep an eye on. He's a receiver, and he is a burner. He stands at the goal line along with a number I do not have on my roster here, number 42. So welcome to the game, number 42. Both teams 2-0. It's an early season matchup. Not a district game this year. Should be fun. Ball is in the air, and it is about 8 yards deep into the end zone. Mail will start 1st and 10. At their own 20-yard line. Elijah Parrish, the quarterback, senior, 6 foot, 185-pounder. And he will bring his team from the sideline to the line of scrimmage. They had a big injury last week, at least they thought it was at the time. Jalen Bloss was carted off with a back injury. But he was cleared to practice this week, and he is ready to go. Quantrell Wright will start in the backfield, leading rusher for the Bulldogs. Pistol formation here. You got to know where Cummings is. Quick throw to the right. It is Cummings on a short pass. He's across the 25 and hauled down right at the first down marker. He'll have 10 yards and a first down for the Bulldogs.
Well, one responsibility you have to have is a play-action play. You can't leave Isaiah Cummings. He really didn't move from his slot spot. Just threw it out there to him, and he had a lot of room. So Bulldogs get a first down, get 10 on first play of the game.
Will Motley the tackle for the Tigers. Bryson Rogers, leading receiver last week, goes wide to the right. That's the short side of the field. Cummings slotted to the left, along with Vincent. Quick throw, whistle before. Cummings is basically the same play to the other side of the field. But a whistle before the snap, and I think we're going to push the Bulldogs back 5 yards on a false start.
Well, I'm going to tell you what the Bulldogs are going to do all night if the Tigers play their conventional defense here. They're going to split a guy wide like they did the first 2, and they're going to put Cummins in the slot. And if the safety stays 10 yards off, John, and the linebacker's on the inside, they're going to give it to him every play.
Well, Elijah Parrish is 28 of 39 coming in, and those are the passes he has to throw. He's going to have a great percentage. 1st and 15, back to the 25. Quick slant across the middle, in and out of the hands of Cummings. Good coverage that time by a couple of Tigers. Cotton, the linebacker, was there, along with Braden Wilson, who had an interception last week. They both look like they may have distracted at least Cummings on that pass.
Well, Wilson came up on the snap. He came up to play Cummings. They ran a little slant, and Cotton dropped from his middle linebacker spot. And well defended. Maybe could have been caught, but it was not.
Cummings, no catches last week. Obviously, Wolf wants to get him involved this week. Here's a handoff, running left, hold to begin with, and then it closes after a gain of about 5 to the original line of scrimmage. That is Quantrell Wright, leading rusher, the senior, 5'8", 170-pounder, brings up 3rd down and a short 10.
When Peckinpah comes up from the safety spot to make the play. But one thing, if you're at the St. X safety, you better not come too quick, John, because these guys can get down the field for Merrill, and they will throw it down the field.
New receiver in is Jaden Warfield. He goes wide to the right with Cummings in the slot that way. Vincel Anthony, wide to the left. Now he'll go over to the right. He'll switch spots with Cummings. 3 to the right, Cummings alone to the left on 3rd and 10. Straight drop back, throw to the right, almost intercepted. Cummings had to play defense that time, jumping the route,
It's Parker Gilliam.
Parker Gilliam, who has one interception already this year, but he saw nothing but green in front of him. Bad pass.
Well, the big 6'4" wide receiver, Cummins, I think maybe just saved the touchdown, John, because I think he knocked the ball away from Gilliam. Gilliam broke on the ball.
He did, yeah.
Ball didn't get there quick enough, and if he catches that, it's a foot race. Now Mill will have to punt the ball from about their own 18-yard line.
Micah Lackey will kick it away. This is where Chris Wolf is concerned, are his special teams. Hasn't liked what he's seen from his Mill Bulldog special teamers in the first couple of weeks. Lackey, good job getting it out of there. High, short, Motley, fair catch at the 40. It's a 30-yard kick, and the Tigers will take over their 1st and 10. 10-19 to go in a scoreless first quarter.
Well, if you're the Tigers, you're happy. They get the first down on the first play, and then the Tigers hold, and now they will get great field position at their own 40-yard line as Doug Bodine will lead his Tigers on the field, and we'll see how the Tigers start, John. You know, you might see play action right off the bat from them, too, and try to get the ball down the field. So, interesting chess game between these two coaches, Kevin Wallace and Chris Wolf.
Bodine, 6'1", 180-pound senior, 21 of 32 on the year with 5 touchdowns and no interceptions. He's got Logan Davis behind him in the pistol. He'll give it to Logan, running right, cuts inside, hit, and dropped. And that is number 45, who's also not on my roster.
Well, I get this offline, John. You can have this other one here. When the schools
no gain on the play.
When the schools start giving us rosters, then we'll.
Second down and 10. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Going deep down the left side, has a man overthrown. Elijah Barnes, who was heading to the house about 3 yards behind the defense. An interesting play there, Tony. A play fake. You fake it over the middle to your tight end and then go deep.
That was there.
It was there, yeah.
And Bodine about a yard. He misses him by about a yard. Had him in stride, it would have been 6, but I like the play call by the Tigers and ran right past the safeties.
3rd down, 10 for the Tigers. They'll send 3 to the left this time. Bodine with shotgun. Davis back there to help block. 4-man front for Mayo. They bring those 4. Bodine in trouble now, turns it upfield. He's to the 40, cuts back inside at the 45 and hit and drop from behind, short of the first down at the 48. Chasing in coverage with Sheila Brown, the sophomore. It's a gain of 8 for Bodine, and if you're the Tigers, I think you punted here, Tony.
Yeah, John, too early in the ball game to take chances.
And they will send Bennett Bayline out and the rest of the punt team on 4th down and 2. So 3 and out for the Tigers. Mill got 1 first down on their first possession. And again, they took a shot. They've taken a lot of shots this year, and that one just maybe a yard out of the reach of Elijah Byrne. 2 men deep for the Bulldogs. Good snap. Bayline boots it out of there. Good high kick. Fair catch called for at the 15 and muffed, but caught before it could hit the ground by Vincel Anthony. Kind of hit him high on the shoulder pad area, and he caught it before when it got down about his knees. Mill will take over 1st and 10 at their own 15. Scoreless first quarter, 8:53 to go.
Well, if you're Coach Kevin Wallace and the Tigers, would love to have that second play back because you're not going to get, I don't think, a lot of those guys breaking wide open, but Bulldogs will take over at their own 15-yard line, 8:53 left first quarter, no score.
Eric Allen, the big nose tackle for the Tigers in his 3-man front on 1st and 10. New running back in there is Jalen Bross. Quick throw to the right, caught by Cummings, missed tackle at the 15, he's to the 20, spins at the 25, has a first down, and finally game tackled out near the 27-yard line. He'll make you miss, and Brady Wilson had a shot at him right at the line of scrimmage, but there's a reason Isaiah Cummings is going to a Power 5 school.
Oh, yeah, 6'4", probably 210 or more, and they just line him in the slot, and Tigers are going to have to give something up, and this time they do put a linebacker out here right in front of him.
1st and 10 Bulldogs, throwing 27. Here's a handoff to Bross up the middle. He's to the 30, grinding his way out near the 33-yard line. Positive yardage of about 6 yards. Eric Allen had a hold of him, but good job by Bross to just sort of lean forward and fall forward for another couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and a long 5 here. Quickly the line of scrimmage come the Bulldogs. Pistol formation, 2 receivers each way. Quick throw to the right, caught by Rogers. He's to the 50, behind the defense, and caught from behind Big play for the Bulldogs there. Peckinpah made the tackle. But not until Rice and Rogers got into St. X territory and brought down at the 38-yard line. Big play on a first down for Mayo.
Well, once again, just getting it out quick and giving it to their athletes and trying to get down the field, and the Bulldogs will go quickly.
29 yards on the catch and run for Rogers. Running right is Wright, Quantrell Wright, pushed out of bounds, got inside the 35 to about the 33. Just a quick run to the right, short side of the field, and it will be 2nd and 5 for Mayo.
Well, Mel, wanting to go quick. It's been a short passing game, quick running game, and Tigers didn't let us substitute in here. But the Bulldogs are moving.
Right in the backfield with Parrish. Takes a snap, hands it to Wright, up the middle, close to the first down. Now he fights out of it, has the first down to the 25-yard line. Well, they go outside on first down and right up the gut here on second down. Chris Wolf mixing things up.
Yeah, and a nice job by the Mayo up front getting the job done. Tigers have decided to move somebody out oncoming, so they're missing one of their tacklers inside, but Bulldogs moving.
1st and 10 at the 25 of St. X. Wanting to throw over the middle. It is caught by Rogers at the 10. He's brought down at the 7. Pretty good coverage by Will Motley. He and Peckinpah combine on the tackle, but that throw from Parrish right on the money. It's 1st and goal. Mayo will spot it at the 8-yard line. Pickup of 17.
Nice slant. Goes up in the other big wide receiver, 6'4", Rogers catches the ball. He'll have to come out for a play because his helmet came off. But the Bulldogs are in business at the Tiger 8-yard line. That's why if you're a Tiger fan, you missed that big one.
Quick timeout called by Mayo. We'll take one as well. 7:18 to go in the first quarter. We're scoreless. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
I'm Coach Kevin Klein. Shady Rays is run by St. X alums Dan and Chris Ratterman. Their goal is to design...
What was the other number?
St. X, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd quickly back to play. First down. Carries back to pass, and nobody open, so tries to run it. Gains about a yard. Robert Andriol catches him from behind. It'll be 2nd and goal. Mayo at the 7. 6:50 to go. First quarter. We are scoreless.
Well, one thing Mayo does have, John, and we've mentioned it, good size at receiver. The tight end, Pendergraph, is 6'7". The two outside wide receivers are 6'4". So this kind of down here, you might see him trying to throw one up.
Nick Coates comes wide to the left, 2 to the right. That's the short side. There's Kersey in the Wildcat right up the middle. Lowers his shoulder, gets to about the 2-yard line. And that's just power football right up the middle. Joe Kersey came in to run last week out of the tailback spot after some injuries.
Well, one thing, John, you don't expect him to throw it if Kersey's getting the snap.
So he'll get the snap here the box. On 3rd and goal at the 2. Man in motion, Kersey up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown. Started at the middle, cut it back to the left, and Joe Kersey gives Mayo first blood here at St. X.
Well, Kersey, a middle linebacker by trade. They put him in short yardage. And give the Bulldogs credit. They did it running and passing, short passing, running the football, and they get on the board first with 6 minutes left in the first quarter. The Bulldogs go up 6-0 with the extra point coming.
Michael Lackey in to kick the extra point. They're a man short, so he yells over actually Parrish. The quarterback is the holder. And they get another player in there. It's a lot of confusion on the Bulldogs' part here, and there's a flag. Because there's 12 guys out there.
Well, they sent the guy in. They were short, but they weren't really short.
No, they were not. So they move back and they'll make it a 25-yard extra point here. Or, yes, 25 yards.
Well, we expect both teams to score some points tonight. Yes. And Bulldogs hit pay dirt first and just a power football down by the end zone. It's
85-yard drive for the Bulldogs. Parrish will hold. Lackey will kick it from the 15 now. Good snap, good hold. Low line drive, but it's good. It's 7-0 Mayo. Jim England, impressive drive for the Bulldogs there.
Yeah, the things that, obviously you see, rule number 1, get the ball to Isaiah Cummings. All right, number 2, get the ball to Kersey inside the 10-yard line. The Mayo offensive line, you can't really believe, from way up to where you guys are, but that offensive line, besides the wide receivers, they're pretty big. We actually have a very large referee tonight. He's umpire. He's known as Moose. He's 6'8". Oh, dude. Yes. All right. He is 6'8". And 380 pounds, and
he's an extra linebacker for both teams.
Right? Yeah, you can definitely use him as a pick.
So 7-0 Bulldogs. Lackey will kick it away now. I believe it is Micah Lackey, and it is. Again, happy the Tigers aren't wearing that black again, Tony. We can see the numbers tonight. Green jerseys, yellow pants. This is returnable, taken at about the 6. Running left, now right is Grant Goodman. Out back to the left, crosses the 20, fights his way out to about the 26-yard line, and the Tigers will take over their first down and 10. Now this is a not unfamiliar position. Senex trailed the Sales 7-0 in week 1 before scoring the next 38 points.
Yeah, John, and then like we said, we know that the Bulldogs are going to put points on the board. Go down the offensive line real quick. Grieve, Probus, Ferris, Heppel, and Brown are your 5 up front. They have to do a good job tonight against a good male defense.
And Blaine Probus in for Congeni, who got the fractured ankle last week against Henry Clay. He will be out approximately 6 weeks. Tigers hope to have him back late in the season. Pistol formation. Davis up the middle. Whistle before the play. And the Tigers are walking backwards. And they should. False start against St. X. 1st and 15. Well, that's exactly how the Mail drive started, so maybe this will work out okay.
Yeah, Mr. Obvious here tells you it's harder when you start 1st and 15, but it does make a big difference in your play calling, and we'll see what the Tigers, pretty much the same formation they were in on 1st down.
Mackay Smith wide to the left, hold tight end that way. Grant Goodman split to the right.
Yeah.
Whistle, another flag
from the other side.
This is from the St. X sideline. And it is offsides against Mail. So do-over. Well, when the referee on the Mail sideline throws the flag, it's going to be against St. X. And when the referee on the St. X sideline throws the flag, it's going to be against Mail. That's just the way it should be, right?
Yeah, I guess logic tells you that, but we'll see what happens. Bulldogs give the Tigers 5 yards back. 1st and 10 now.
We just got into Deloitte and went back about a minute and a half with 1st and 10. Here's Davis running left, in trouble in the backfield. Tries to go around the corner and cannot. Chased down by Elijah Manning, the big sophomore. Loss of a yard back to the 25. That play was designed to go inside, Tony. Logan Davis saw a team picture of the Mail Bulldogs, tried to cut it outside and nowhere to go.
Yeah, John, I think you'll see the Tigers, if they can't run the ball, they'll be getting it out quick to guys like Goodman and Mackay Smith and guys like that trying to get them in space. But right now, Bulldogs controlling pretty much both lines of scrimmage.
2nd down and 11. 3 receivers in the pattern here. 2 to the right. That's the wide side of the field. Belane's got Davis with him in the backfield. In motion comes Goodman, right to left. They fake it to 2 guys and a little screen to Grant Goodman. He's falling as he catches it. Gets to the 28. It's a gain of 3. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
Well, not a good throw by Bodine, but Tigers run that play to the short side. And that's not where you really want to. You don't give him much space if he catches the football. Actually, a really nice catch by Goodman laying out. But Tigers put themselves in 3rd and 8 situation here.
Early down, long 8 to go here. It's more like 8.5. Mackay Smith split wide to the left. That's the short side. 2 receivers to the right. Bodine takes a snap, straight drop. Has time, now comes up into the pocket, running left. Going to try to get to the 1st down. Instead, he steps out of bounds short of it. The Tigers will have to pick it away. at the 32. I think Doug's going to have to do a better job of staying in the backfield when he gets out of there and keep his passing options open.
Yeah, John, I think in that situation, he could have just waited a little bit and tried to let somebody get open. Instincts tell you to take off, but twice on third down, he takes off. He comes up short.
Wilson and Anthony are deep. For Mayo, Bennett Bayline in for the second punt of the night for the Tigers on fourth down and about 4 here. Good snap. Bayline boots it out of there. This is a good high bomb. Fair catch at the 21, called for by Chris Wilson, and Mayo will start right there. A 47-yard kick with no return for Bennett Bayline.
Well, Johnson, ex-Tiger defense going to have to come on the field and get a stop. After the Bulldogs pretty much commanded that 85-yard drive, they got on the board. Right now we got 4:21 left here in the first quarter. Mail leads 7-0. The Tigers and Bulldog offense will be coming on the field. But right now, that play that the Tigers missed, I know I've gone back to it a couple times, that wide open Goodman running down the middle, it just kind of changes the complexion when you go 3 and out.
And the 2 plays before that, they almost had a pick 6. And all of a sudden you look up, it's 7-0 Mail. They got the ball back. Parrish in the pistol. He's got Ross behind him. Takes a snap, hands it to his running back, hit at the line of scrimmage, bounces out of it across the 25, across the 30, dragging the St. X tackler to the 31 on a first down. Or close to a first down for the Bulldogs. They'll mark it about a half-yard shy. It'll be second and less than a yard.
Got to make that initial tackle when they go in there and have him in a good spot and bounces off. And the Bulldogs, great situation here with these receivers, second and 1.
Got to be careful here. Right back in the backfield. Quick throw to the right. Caught by Cummings. He is hit. Gets out of that tackle. Now he's still pushed back at the 30. Not going to get the first down. Good gang tackling by the Tigers, and that time he could not make the first man miss. It'll be 3rd and short for the Bulldogs.
Well, that's a couple times they've kept Isaiah Cummings in tight and split 2 wide receivers and then tried to get it out to him quickly because it's a big man, first of all. He can run, and you got to get a hold of him and get help.
Loss of about a half yard on the play brings up 3rd and 1 for Mayo, and Kersey's in there, so you expect the Wildcat here. And that's exactly what you get. He's alone in the backfield here. So this is just man-on-man.
Well, the run motion
coverage here. Kersey up the middle, tripped up. Short of the first down, and that's Hale Moeller from his linebacker spot. Just broke through with one thing on his mind and one thing only, and that is stop Joe Kersey, and he did. It's 4th and 1.
Yeah, what Mel does is they run that Wildcat, and then they put Anthony in motion, and you have to respect Anthony, but still, when
they haven't set the punt team in yet either, Tom.
Well, I would be very surprised in this situation with them getting Tigers out 2 times 3 and out that you would go for this and possibly give them good field position.
4th down and 1. Tigers with 12 guys out there, so Eric Allen, the big
timeout Mail
nose guard, came in, and Chris Wolf just thinking about it here for a long time. Certainly, cooler heads will prevail here, won't they, Tom?
I think definitely. There's no way this early in the ball game, if you just went down the field and scored 7 points, you were going to go for that.
Jim Brennan, you'd go for it, wouldn't you?
Absolutely not, but I don't have any state rings like Chris Wolf. Hey guys, I do want to mention that a couple Collier Law Firm injury updates. Doug Bodine on the very first scramble on the very first drive actually had to be attended to by Danny McDonald. He had a very bloody right knee, and that had to be cleaned up. I don't know the extent of whether or not he took a direct hit or something. The second thing is the starting right guard for Mayo actually just ran off after being, he was obviously hopping with some type of leg injury. So watch whether or not, the Mayo offensive line was as dominating as they have been in other games.
Mayo will punt here. Tigers will not put anybody back. Now Braden Wilson sprints back to about the 40. Micah Lackey in to kick it away for the Bulldogs. We think, at least, on 5th and 1. Long snap count here. Good snap. Lackey gets it out of there. Braden Wilson will call fair catch immediately at the 39, and he takes it there. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. You needed a stop by your defense, Tony. You got a 3 and out.
They did a great play by Bowler on 3rd down to get through there. And Kersey's a big, strong guy, and he went low and took him down, which held the Bulldogs on 3rd down. But now the Tigers get good field position at their own 40-yard line. 2:23 left, first quarter. Mail leads St. X 7-0 here at Brother Thomas More stadium.
And once again, security breaks down. Chip Dunstorf somehow gets through not only the front gate, but he got all the way up to the press box, Tom.
Well, security over the last few years has slacked off, John. But Bodine comes out and expected Tigers on first down, John, to go play action.
Bodain's got two backs next to him, one to the right, one to the left. Justin Walsh in. They fake it to Walsh, little screen to Davis. He's hit right away and gets another yard out of it. Give him 3, maybe 4 on the play. Good fighting that time from Logan Davis. Judah Ford, the senior safety, came up to make the tackle. It's a game of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
We'll give Ford credit for keeping his responsibility there. He could have came up and then they would have got what the Tigers wanted out of Logan Davis out of the backfield. But I like the play call by the Tigers. 2nd and 7.
Smith and Goodman wide to the left. That's the wide side of the field. Here's Davis. Off left tackle. Makes one man miss. Kersey got a hand on him. He got across the 45. Got away from Joe Kersey. Tripped up right at the 45. So 2 more yards will bring up a 3rd and 5. This is a sort of a big play early in the game here. The Tigers need to get some momentum.
It's a huge play, John. The first 2 series were 3 and out. You're looking at a 3rd and 5. If you don't get one here, you've run 9 offensive plays and have no first downs. But Tigers trail by 7 to the Bulldogs from over on Preston Highway.
And if I'm not mistaken, only one wideout has been targeted in this whole first quarter. That was Byrne down the middle. Goodman actually caught a little screen pass earlier. Straight drop for Bodine. Looks, rolls right. Still rolling right, looking for a receiver to come back to him. Throws late, it's intercepted at the 30-yard line and brought down at the 41-yard line. He waited too long to throw that one, and reading the eyes of the quarterback was F. Ray Hall. First interception of the year for Bodine, and Mail will start at their own 42.
Well, once again, he had some time. He didn't have anybody open or looking down the field. Third down, same thing's happened 3 times. We've had the first 2 times he tucked it and ran. That time he held on to it, but did not make a good decision on the throw.
He's having a discussion with his head coach right now. Kevin Wallace looks very calm on the sideline as he talks to his senior quarterback. 1st and 10 Mail. They lead 7-0. 56 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Great field position for Mail.
Elijah Parrish brings his team to the line of scrimmage. Quantrell right in the backfield. 2 receivers each way, and Cummings, of course, in the slot. Looking for Cummings, not there. Now he looks again, and it is there deep down the middle, and this is going to be a touchdown. It is Bryson Rogers. Everybody watching Isaiah Cummings, and Bryson Rogers goes 58 yards down the seam.
Got behind the St. X defensive backs, and it was just a trot to the end zone. And Tigers, boy, Mill is very explosive, and right there, you see Cummings coming out, a couple guys looking at him, but Bryson Rogers, who's caught 10 passes, coming in the game for 134, just breaks loose, and Bulldogs lead 13-0.
And once again, as we try to count Bulldogs here, Michael Lackey in for the extra point. Now the hold of Elijah Parrish. Good snap, good hold. Kick is not long, but it doesn't have to be. It's 14-0 Mail Bulldogs. And Jim, I think everybody was focused on Isaiah Cummings there.
Yeah, the St. X defense has made some adjustments trying to bring that linebacker up. And with the linebacker up, the safety's got to cover where the linebacker is, and that leaves the middle of the field open. That was a beautifully thrown pass by the quarterback. You can see Elijah Parrish.
And Tony, before the season started, we talked about it. We wondered if these defensive backs would be up to the challenge. They got beat there.
Well, they're playing against a different level of receivers here about the Bulldogs, and
we give the Mail line credit too. They gave Parrish plenty of time to pick and choose his receiver that time, because he didn't want Rogers right off the bat.
Right, but the offense has got to help the defense. They Mail cannot have the ball pretty much the whole first quarter if you want to win this football game. So Tigers will get it here and need to make something happen offensively. The Bulldogs have a 2-touchdown lead.
That drive, one play, 58 yards. Here's Mekhi Smith taking the kickoff at the 13, running from all the way left side of the field to the right. Well, I don't understand that at all. Didn't drop at the 21. I know you got to play on, but he could have ran as soon as he caught the ball straight ahead and got out across the 30-yard line.
Yeah, John, I agree with you. I do not like it, predetermined. You're going to run all the way to the right. Should be a call if you catch it on the left. There should be a signal for everybody to go left. If it's kicked to the right, you should stay to the right. Get what you can. Male's too fast and too athletic to try to run across the field and get through a hole.
40 seconds left here in the opening quarter. 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 22. Really got to get something going now. Bodine in the shotgun. He's got Logan Davis behind him to the left. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. That's Goodman. Doug wants to throw after play action. Looking deep. In trouble. Being chased and crushed. Ball is loose. Mayo's going to pick it up and run it in for the touchdown. Well, Bodine turned back to the right and got hammered at about the 10-yard line. And it was Raymond Tucker who picked it up and ran it in from about 5 yards out.
We'll give Male defensive backs credit because either Bodine cannot find anybody or he's locked in, but when you run all the way to one side and turn, you got to have a clock in your head, and Doug Bodine paid for that, and the Tigers paid for it, and now the Bulldogs with 30 seconds left in the first quarter lead 20-0 with the extra point coming.
2 touchdowns in 17 seconds for Male here, and that is not what the doctor ordered if you're the St. X Tigers, and plus Bodine took a shot there, Tony.
He did.
I think the defender was F. Ray Hall again, the guy who intercepted the pass earlier.
And he just came from the opposite side, trailing the play when he didn't give up on it. When Bodine turned back, it was a big hit.
Whistle and a flag. It's going to be a delay game against Male. Once again, I think they've got 10 guys out there. It's the only thing they've done wrong tonight.
Not if you're a Green and Gold fan. This is what you wanted to see. Great crowd here tonight on Future Tiger Night. Students are out in force, but boy,
we had some sprinkles in the pregame, but boy, beautiful night for football. Now, if we can just get a better game, that would be great.
Well, we got to get the Tigers going here after the first quarter.
Mayo an extra point away from being up 21-0 with 30 seconds left here in the first quarter. Lackey boots it through. And it is 21-0 in favor of the Mayo Bulldogs. Well, certainly both teams taking a step up in competition here this week. Mayo has handled it, St. X has not.
Yeah, you just cannot go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and then have a fumble. I mean, you're not going to win any games running 10, not a lot of plays. 11 plays, I believe.
Yeah.
But you're not going to win games doing that, and Mayo's too explosive.
Tigers yet to have a first down, is that correct?
You're correct. And if you think about the first drive was 85 yards, then that one right there, quick pass for one play, and then a fumble.
Yep.
So boom, boom, boom.
Snowball.
Yeah.
The snowball effect here is Lackey will have to put his leg in ice as he's getting ready to kick off yet again.
Well, he's kicked both balls to his right, to the Tiger left, and that's where Makai Smith is. And they might change it up here, but if I'm the Tigers, I'm expecting it to go up to the same place it's gone the first 2 times.
Lackey boots it away. You are correct. Makai Smith will take it at about the 6. He'll stay on the left hash mark this time, running left, now cuts back into the middle of the field across the 20, makes a man miss to the 28, and hauls down out near the 30-yard line. Extra yard from Makai Smith as he was hit about 8 yards earlier when he went down. 1st and 10 Tigers at the 30.
Well, this is a gut check for the Tigers. It's early in the game. You have 3 quarters to play this game, but down 21-0. You got to see how they dig in. Doug Bodine's had not a very good game so far. He's had an interception. He's had a fumble. He's ran the ball 2 times, didn't get a first down. He's got to forget all that, go out here and make some plays and get the Tigers moving.
Makai Smith, wide to the left. That's the short side. Tigers come out here this time with 3 receivers to the right. Goodman, Byrne, and Borho. Bodine in the shotgun as Smith comes in motion to put 4 receivers on the right. They throw it to Makai. He makes one man miss at the 35. Speed kills and a first down for the Tigers as he crosses the 40-yard line. They'll spot it right at the 40, so it's a gain of 10. And a first down of the night for St. X with 15 seconds to go in the quarter.
Like to call, get into a playmaker's hand in space. They get their first down, and clock rolls to about 10 seconds left here in the first quarter. Tigers might get a playoff, they might not. We'll see.
5 seconds left in the quarter. 4 receivers in the pattern again. Play is off. Quick throw to to the right, dropped by Borho at the 45-yard line. First quarter comes to an end. All-male Bulldogs in the first quarter, 21-0. As we head to stanza number 2. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
For high schoolers, footing means important, but more important, students join
wants to keep the mics on
a school where young men develop the confidence to rise to their highest levels of academic and personal achievement. Where 98% of students go on to post-secondary education, and last year,
I know it's good. I'm in it.
$80 million in scholarships. Find a school where you fit in.
I've got White coming up.
As a part of the 1999 St. X State Championship team, Tony Collier knows how frustrating injuries can be.
Be careful, because Tim Brown texting me.
And dedicates his leadership to victims of injuries get the compensation they deserve. We at the Collier Law Firm will walk you through every step of the legal process, and there is no charge for initial case evaluations. If you suffered an injury, call Collier Law Firm.
What's just total yardage? Yeah, plays in total yardage. 29 to 167.
Visit COLYER.
Guess who's got 29? How many plays do they run, Todd?
17.
Thank you, St. X. John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. We get over the second quarter. Hopefully it'll be much better for the Tigers than the first quarter was. 21-0 Male, 2nd and 10. St. X at their own 40. Delaney gives it to Davis, a little counter, running left, makes one man miss at the 40, fights to the 43. But Male's just too quick to run outside on Tony Burke. That's the bottom line. It's a gain of 3, maybe 2, but it took Logan Davis a long way to get there. At some point, you got to cut it up.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He did a nice job of getting to the outside. You got to put that foot in the ground and cut it up. If you keep running sideline to sideline, you're right. Mel's going to run you down with speed. And
3rd down and 8. We had a drop pass on the last play of the quarter and a 2-yard run to start the second quarter. It's 3rd and long for the Tigers, who desperately need to get the offense moving. Rolling right is Bodine. Has time, now in trouble, steps up, and sacked back at the 37-yard line. Well, I think Doug gets a little worried about when guys get close. His eyes do not stay down the field, and he takes a sack there. Tigers will have to punt again. They got a first down, but this is going to be a 4 and out. Yeah, only one first down. You got the yardage in front of you.
Yeah, John, Tigers 29 yards in the first quarter without that one. 167 for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs run 17 plays to the Tigers 12 to that one.
Bennett Bayline in to kick it away. He'll be kicking it toward the school for the first time. Good snap. Boots it out of there. This is low, and we'll bounce at the 30. Take a Tiger bounce to the 20. They fake a reverse. Wilson keeps it running left. He's across the 30 and pushed out of bounds on the Male sideline at about the 37-yard line. And the Bulldogs will take over there. 10:32 to go in the first half. It has been all Male so far here tonight at Brother Thomas More Stadium.
The Tigers need a break. They need something good to happen. 3 and out, maybe a turnover, different things. But good field position at the 37 for the Bulldogs, who, like you said, John, have dominated this first half, and it's just been every part of the game.
We've had 2 games here, Tony, and both games, fans of the visitors are still walking in at the far entrance down by the golf simulator. You didn't even man that place, that thing a little better. You got to get them through the turnstiles. We're in the second quarter here. Parrish under center. Chris Wolf has to call a timeout. I don't think they had enough guys out there again. We'll take one as well with 10:32 to go in the half. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Alumni Chris.
Yeah, let's try sitting down.
Beating down comfortable temperatures.
It happens.
Just like the Tigers.
We're not going to win this game, but you know what?
Out of their
we need to scare them a little bit here.
KHSAA Heating and Cooling is a longtime proud supporter of St. X.
I don't think we're going to win this game.
Catholic Education Foundation. To learn more about DFH, their furnaces and air conditioning,
not saying I'm going to ask for one from this point on.
And annual maintenance plans.
Armand Tucker, 99-yard run, Trinity lead 7-0.
Or to schedule your eye exam with St. X grad, Dr. Blaine Green, call the Eye Care Institute at 589-1500. That's the Eye Care Institute at 589-1500.
Back in St. X, first down Mayo, a quick throw to Cummings, and he's brought down by Ken Schaffner. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10, just another one of those little swing passes to the slot receiver. Handoff up the middle. This is Bloss, He gets across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Gain of about 4, bring up 3rd and 6 for the Tigers.
Curtis Cotton in on the tackle from the linebacker spot.
They need to stop here. Desperately. It's 21-0 Mayo if you're just joining us.
Got to get something positive to happen if you're a Tiger fan.
Actually, it's 21-0 Mayo whether you're just joining us or not. Hello to Carl Hager, by the way. Saw him last night at our favorite watering hole, Tony, so he'd be listening at home tonight. He may have turned it off already, the way this one started. 3rd down 6 for the Bulldogs. Parrish in the pistol, play action, rolling, quick throw, drop by Cummings. A little bit behind him, but again, just a little quick one out of that slot. Tigers had good coverage there as far as enough tacklers to bring him down, but as Isaiah Cummings couldn't hang on to it, it's a 3-and-out for Mayo. And Micah Lackey will kick it away for only the second time tonight.
And I know what Coach Wolf is thinking. All right, we split 2 wide receivers. We get their corners out of there. And if we get it to Isaiah Cummings out of the slot, you got to come up and make a play on the big man.
Will Motley deep for the Tigers. 8 at the line of scrimmage for St. X, so doesn't look like they're going after it here in any way, shape, or form. Actually, only 6 at the line of scrimmage. Good snap. Booted out of there. Backpedaling is Motley. Fair catch called at the 22. And that's where the Tigers will start this drive. 9:11 to go, first half. A bomb, a fumble recovery touchdown, and a long drive, and it's 21-0 Mayo here at Billy Thomas Moore Stadium. The good news, it's not a district game.
No, and it's early in the season. You're learning, and you stepped up in competition. I mean, you're playing one of the best couple of teams in the state. You feel like you are, but right now, Mel has dominated. Tigers had a couple opportunities in the first drive, defensively and offensively, did not convert, and now they're playing from way behind.
Michael Detty splits to the left. That's the short side of the field. 3 receivers to the right on first down. Bodine, quick throw, caught by Byrne, I believe. Fights his way out to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 6 before he's gang tackled there. First catch of the night for Elijah Byrne. 2nd and short for the Tigers.
Well, if the Tigers are going to spread out the Bulldogs, I'm looking for that short passing, but you got to be able to run the ball between the tackles, and so far the Tigers have not been able to run the ball.
So you got Detty in there along with Byrne, Goodman, and Makai Smith. Logan Davis in the backfield, and no tight end for the Tigers here. 4-man front for Mayo. Quick throw to the right, caught by Byrne again. He is hammered short of the yard line to gain for the first down, but only by a yard. They might have gotten a great spot. Had to get to 32, and they're going to give him the first down. I'm not sure I agree with that, but Tigers will take anything they can get right now.
Well, quick pass again, get it out of there, try to get the ball down the field. I think you'll see them do it a few times, and then they'll take their shot. They'll try to pick a spot when they think it's the right play, and maybe look for Duddy or Smith running down the field.
So basically, Duddy has been on one side by himself, the other 3 receivers on the other side here. First down and 10, 3rd straight play with this formation. Bodine wants to throw deep to Duddy. Down the left sideline, it's caught. Did he stay in bounds? No. Tried to get the right foot down. We don't have replay, so we don't know, but the only matters what one guy thinks. That's the back judge, and it's 2nd and 10.
Well, Michael Duddy, a 6'3 sophomore, we see that first week, get it up there, and they did to Makai Smith, actually, that play right there in the first game against DeSales. Just had about a step out of bounds. They had man coverage here on the outside, and
pretty good coverage there by Nick Coates, Tony, but a great throw right on the money.
And actually a really nice catch by Michael Duddy, who just wasn't in bounds.
2nd and 10, same formation here. Duddy says, I got him one-on-one. He's signaling to Bodine to do it again. Douglas looks, now rolls right. He's got all kinds of time. Hey, you got to keep looking downfield, son. Instead, he ducks, and Tony, there were no defenders on that side of the field behind the line of scrimmage. And instead, Doug Bodine gets a 2-yard gain. If he stops and looks, somebody's going to come open.
Grant Goodman was in front of him, throwing his hands up. He came back to the ball, and I think right now Doug Bodine is really flustered, John. Everything in his head's moving too fast, and a couple of those plays early in the game can do that, but he's their leader, and he's got to get it going.
3rd down and 8 after a gain of about 2.5. It's a short 8 here. Davis in the backfield with Bodine. 4-man rush, no blitz for Mayo. Now Doug rolls to the right away from the pressure. Cuts back inside, hit, and dropped short of the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a sack.
And Johnny had receivers in front of him that time. He tucked it. Everything's going wrong in his head right now. He broke the pocket, but he was still not to the line of scrimmage, and two Senex receivers were about 10 yards in front of him. And right now, they got to get Doug Bodine relaxed, and something good's got to happen for him.
Caden Reynolds made the hit. Got credit him with the sack because it's a loss of a yard on the play. It's 4th down, and Bennett Bayline need to kick it away with 6:40 to go in the quarter. Good snap. Bayline does get it out of there. Mayo had a good rush on that time. It is taken by Anthony. Makes one man miss. He's across the 30 and down the left sideline looking for blockers. Being chased from behind and finally pushed out of bounds in Senex territory deep at the 33-yard line, maybe the 32. The punter, Bennett Bayline, the guy that was able to finally knock him out of bounds.
Well, John Tiger had a shot. They had him wrapped up on the play. He probably should have called a fair catch on him. The Tigers were right on him. They don't make the play, and now Mill has a short field at the Tiger 32-yard line.
6:21 to go in the first half. It's 21-0 Bulldogs. And Elijah Parrish brings his team to the line of scrimmage. Ross in the backfield. He'll get the carry, running right. He'll stretch play, cuts it inside, saw a hole, hit the hole, and he's got Green in front of him to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Mayo Bulldogs. Jalen Ross from 32 yards out, and the route is on here.
Wow, it's just a play where they run it off. Like you said, it's a stretch play. Tigers are out there. He cuts it back, cuts it all the way back across the green, and it's just a foot race and just trots in for the 27th point here in the first half. Mayo leads 27-0 with 6:12 left in the first half.
The Bulldogs set this up all the time. They've got Parrish and Lackey in the center with Rogers to the right and the entire offensive line to the left. They look to the sideline to get the signal whether they're going to kick or run a trick play. They will set up for the extra point here again. Good snap, good hold. Lackey boots it up and through. It is 28-0 Mayo. We'll take a break. You're listening to Senex High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hey, it's Jamie Miller.
Can't see this coming.
Back at St. X, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd as Lackey kicks it away. Grant Goodman will take it. There's a whistle.
Offsides on
the flag. Offsides on Mayo. Jim Brinkman, we did not see this coming.
No, and I think Tony's right on spot. Coach Wallace has spent a lot of time with quarterback Doug Bodine. You know, when he comes to the sideline, all right, let's go over. I think you have to kind of tip your hat, too, also to Chris Wolf, the coach of the Mayo Bulldogs. They're taking away the first option. They've obviously scouted our first two games and know where we're trying to put the ball. And, you know, it's not like, you know, the quarterback, Bodine, has all day to throw either. So I think we're missing Congetti with the ankle injury, and we think that Chris Wolf's done a great job on scouting this offense.
Actually, Tony, I think he's had time, and he's got to go ahead and look at that third and fourth option because they are there. High short kick this time. Goodman will let it go out of bounds at about the 19. So the Tigers will start with good field position, 6:12 to go in the quarter, trailing 28-0. Now you get the ball to start the second half. So if you can put a drive together here and a drive at the beginning of the third quarter, and I know this is all ifs and buts, candy and nuts, but if you can do that, maybe you get back in this football game.
Yeah, you got to be positive. I know Coach Wallace, like Jim said, was down there with Doug Bodine trying to get his frame of mind. These kids got to understand, it's the third week of the season. Things have gone totally wrong right now. Hey, play the game. Let's get on the board. Let's have something else good happen, and let's get back in this game. Offense has got to get something generated, and it should be. I was thinking the whole time that a 5-yard penalty on the kickoff, ball goes out of bounds, ball gets moved up to the 40. So Tigers will get the ball thrown 40-yard line.
Well, there are 5 guys in stripes out there who finally figured out, 40-yard line's correct. First and 10.
There's actually 6.
Is there 6? Well, then I can't count either. So
actually 7, John. I can't count either.
I'm still counting 5, but
it's 3.
Okay. The Pistols got Logan Davis behind him. They'll give it to Logan, running left, hit at the line of scrimmage, dropped, gain of 1, maybe 2. Elijah Manning, the big defensive tackle, made the tackle. Second down and 8. Tigers trying to just maybe a little challenge to the offensive line here. We haven't run the football well either. Let's lock somebody, right? But Mill's got a lot of speed, and those linebackers will get to you in a hurry.
Good linebackers, big guys up front to do a nice job. And right now, Mill shows why they were the state champions last year.
Second down and 8. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Logan Davis in the backfield. A whistle. And this one's coming from the male sideline, so it's going to be against St. X, right? No. Offsides against Male. Didn't see that coming either.
Well, if you line up offsides, you're offsides.
So second and 8 becomes second and 3 as they move it out to the 47-yard line. I will not throw the Bulldog under the bus, but he is being called to the sideline right now.
And the coach has shown him how to get out in his stance.
Second and short for the Tigers. Bodine in the shotgun, 3 to the right. That's the wide side of the field. Doug takes a snap, looks right. First option not there. Now looking back to the left. Throws high. He's got Duddy. Catches at 35. Breaks a tackle to the 20, to the 15, and hauled down from behind. There is a flag down on the play.
Yeah, Duddy was being
But you were calling a hold on Coates right away. And Duddy went up and got it anyway and broke the tackle. And that time, Bodine, a great job, Tony, of staying in the pocket and finding a receiver.
He didn't panic that time. He just kept his head up. And what Duddy did, such a great job. He came back. The play was to him. They faked it to the right. Duddy came back. He was covered. Then he spun out of there to go deep. And Doug Bodine just laid it up. And the 6'3 sophomore went up and caught it. And, boy, Tigers need this badly to get some points on the board here in the way of a touchdown, not a field goal.
Gain of 39 on the catch and run from Michael Betty. Tigers in the green zone for the first time. Brought to you by the Eye Care Institute and Dr. Brennan Green. First and 10, Tigers at the 14. Davis in the backfield along with Borho at the H-back. Bodine over the middle. Has a man wide open at the 10. Breaks a tackle. 5. Touchdown. St. X Tigers. Elijah Byrne, his third of the season. 14 yards from Doug Bodine.
And a great job again. Doug Bodine, Tigers offensive line did a really good job that time of giving him time and gave Elijah Byrne time to do a crossing route as the other receivers went deep. He beat a Bulldog at about the 5-yard line, and Tigers answer with 5:01 left here in the first half, and 28-6 with Jeff Sexton coming on to attempt the extra point.
Bennett Bayline will hold it for him. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. Kick is through. 28-7 Mayo. 5:01 to go here. First half. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
When you're ready to tackle that large job or weekend project, turn to Sunbelt.
Now we need to stop. Did we score too early? That's what I was saying. Score. Get the ball second half and score. Stop. Tiger St. X, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. Well, after a 14-yard touchdown pass from Doug Bodine to Elijah Byrne, the Tigers on the board finally. They trail Mail 28-7. 5:01 left here in the first half, and Jeff Sexton, as is normally the case, kicks one about 10 yards deep in the end zone. Big time here if you can get a stop, Tony.
It is. This is a huge possession for the Tiger defense. And, John, you made a good point. Tigers offensive coaching doing a nice job of adjusting on that drive.
Roger wide to the left, Cummings in the slot that way. Handoff up the middle, it's Bross, and he is fighting his way for 3, maybe 4. They'll spot it at the 23-yard line. Eric Allen, nose tackle, getting up off the bottom of the pile, along with Cotton as well. Give it 3, 2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs. And if you're Chris Wolf at this point, I would think you just want a couple of first downs. You're not worried about them into the end zone, but you do not want to give St. X the ball back here late in this first half. Parrish looking at his wristband. He's got Quantrell right in the backfield with him this time. 3 receivers in the pattern. Quick throw, quick slant off the hand of Cummings. Good coverage on the play by Schaffner, who was trailing him the whole way. And it looked like, from my vantage point, Curtis Cotton was getting ready to lower the boom if he did catch it. It'll be 3rd and 7. Clock stops on the incompletion with 4:18 to go in the half.
And I thought that Cotton's done that a couple times, dropped from his linebacker spot, and I think he might even kind of disrupted that play. So big play for the Tiger defense. They trail about 21 here in the second quarter.
Right is the lone setback. Looking left, quick throw to the left. It is knocked away at the last second. Vincel Anthony was the intended receiver. Will Motley got a hand in there, knocked it away. It's a 3 and out. The Bulldogs will kick it away.
Well, they throw the slant to the other big wide receiver on the outside, and Motley makes a nice play, getting a hand in. And now with 4:13 left, the Tigers get the ball back, and you made a good point. They get it to start the second half. So you can get yourself back in the ball game right here.
Yeah, all 3 timeouts left for the Tigers. We'll worry about that when we need to. Micah Lackey in to kick it away. Standing back at his own 45-yard line is Will Motley.
That should be an offensive penalty when you throw your arm up and you're the...
Well, that's just to let the center know to go ahead and snap it. High booming kick, short. Tigers need to get out of the way, and they do.
No.
They kind of do. And St. X will have great field position as it takes a Tiger bounce in the Mail territory at the 48-yard line. Only a 24-yard kick that time from Lackey, and a first down for the Tigers. The mood has to have improved on the sidelines, Jim.
Yeah, it's improved. I have to kind of throw in about those adjustments on that touchdown play. That was the wheel route going to Logan Davis. He was being grabbed as jersey got pulled off of his shoulder pads, actually, on that play, and that freed up Elijah Byrne to come to the vacated flat area. So, you know, they might have been, the adjustment might have been, hey, Doug, look for the flat, not for the wheel. That may be making it a little bit easier for Doug Bodine.
1st and 10 Tigers at the Bulldog 48-yard line. Bodine shotgun, wants to throw on first down. Looked across, now rolling to the right. In trouble late, throws deep down the field. It is caught inside the 20 and pushed out of bounds. Great job by Elijah Byrne to find the open spot and go in the same direction his quarterback was going.
Well, we gave Doug Bodine a little bit of criticism early on for making bad decisions, and that time, at first, looked like he had some room to run, but he held his composure, kept his head up, and Byrne got loose down the field, and now the Tigers are knocking on the door again in the green zone.
31 yards on the catch from Elijah Byrne on the Mail sideline. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Motley to the right, 3 to the left. Here's Logan Davis up the gut and nowhere to go. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. If he did, that's all he got.
Bunch of Bulldogs there.
Brandon Dobbs, the sophomore nose guard, was the first guy to make contact. It's officially no gain, 2nd and 10.
And I thought the Tigers would do that play. I really thought, you got to get Logan Davis moving, but, boy, the Bulldogs just, that was like a wall he ran into right there.
Motley wide to the right, short side of the field. 3 to the left, the widest is Makai Smith.
Bring Makai Smith across there.
4-man rush, Bodine takes the snap. Looks, steps up into the middle. He's got room to run now. 15, 10, 5, touchdown, St. X Tigers. Doug Bodine runs it in from 17 yards out.
Well, we got a ball game all of a sudden. It was 28-0 Male. Now the Tigers cut it to 28-13 with 3:06 left in the first half, and Doug Bodine stayed in the pocket, John. He didn't even break the pocket till he saw it break down. He saw the right side of the field was wide open on the Male side, and he just beat the Male defender to the corner as Jeff Sexton comes on for the second time in a row to attempt an extra point.
And the Tigers can cut that once 28-0 Male lead in half here if Sexton can convert. Bayline takes a snap. Kick is up, kick is good. It's 28-14 Male, 3:06 to go first half. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network. Stadium, John, Tony, Jim, and Tom, and all of a sudden we didn't see it coming when it was 28-0, and we kind of didn't see St. X getting back into this game, but it's 28-14 as once again Jeff Sexton puts one into the end zone, and Male will start first and 10 at their 20. 3:06 to go here in the first half. Male, keep in mind, has 0 timeouts left. They had to use a couple. Well, they used a couple when they were thinking about going for it on fourth down. They used one. They used one on an extra point when they didn't have enough guys out there. So Chris Wolf out of timeouts here in the first half. Perry shotgun, takes the snap, hands it off to Bloss, running left, hitting the backfield, and dropped at the 19-yard line. It was Nick Walsh who came through from his defensive end spot. They do give him the 20, so no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10. And Male, surprisingly to me here, Tony, quickly with the line of scrimmage, although they're looking to the sideline.
Yeah, and I would really watch Isaiah Cummings on this play, wherever he lands up, because that might be that slot pass that they're looking for. Great job by a bunch of Tigers in there, but the first guy there was Mick Walsh.
Anthony is slotted to the left Anthony's wide to the left with Cummings in the slot. Wanting to throw, throwing, looking for Rogers. Bad throw, almost into coverage. I do believe that if Peckinpah was playing the ball, Tony, he might have gotten it there. That was not a good throw from Elijah Parrish.
Well, good pressure from Hale Bowler made him get the ball out of there quickly. And so you're looking at 3rd and 10. The clock stops with 2:27. You get a stop here, you're rolling offensively if you can get the football back. This is maybe the biggest play of the game if you're a St. X Tiger fan.
Parker Gilliam had the coverage on Rogers that time.
Good coverage.
Yeah, good coverage. And Peckinpah, he was, I think, looking to light up the receiver instead of pick off the pass. 3rd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Clock stopped on the incompletion. 2:27 left in the half. Wanting to throw again. Bowler was in there again. Short pass caught. Dropped short of the first down is Rogers.
Timeout Tigers, guys. That's what I'm saying. Coach Tigers running down the field.
Take that timeout with 2:16 to go in the half. We will keep it right here, but another 3 and out. And, you know, it's every level you play football, Tony. Uncle Mo changes, and it is on the side of the Tigers right now.
Well, you saw the Tigers walking around when they got down 21-0, head down, and then all of a sudden 28-0. All the body language was gone. You get a score, you get a little bit of juice, and all of a sudden you get another one. And you got 2:16 left, and you're going to get the ball back here when you scored your last 2 possessions. And you don't want to get, you don't want to do, I won't even say that.
First thing I'm telling you on 4th and 3 here is not to jump off sides when the up man waves his arm a couple times.
And, John, I know you said he's waving at center, but he's throwing his arm up real quick a couple times, and that's not signaling the center. That's trying to get somebody to jump. But if you're the Tiger coaching staff, if I'm the special teams coach, I'm not even putting any pressure. I'm setting up a return. I'm telling my guys, I want you all to block. We are not going to give them a first down by jumping off sides. So we're not even going to rush. We're going to secondary rush.
Ball is at the 27-yard line. It's 4th and 3. Micah Lackey in to kick it away for the Bulldogs. Will Motley, I believe, is deep for the Tigers. He is. And again, only 6 at the line of scrimmage here in rush formation for St. X. The up man waving the arm is backup quarterback Chad Carroll, sophomore. And we are ready to play here. There he is. Hike it to Carroll. He's running left. He's got the first down and a lot more across the right side, across the 40 and out of bounds at the 45. Boy, give Chris Wolf some credit here, Tony. They saw something from upstairs as well. And Carroll runs out to the 45-yard line. A gain of 18 on 4th and 3 deep in your own territory.
Wow, that's a gutsy call, and it worked. But, boy, if it didn't work, but that doesn't matter, does it? It's a first down out to the 45-yard line of the Bulldogs. And
2:09 left here in the first half.
You won't see many coaches pull that one out.
I give them a lot of credit there. That is a gutty call. Tigers had one guy there, maybe had a chance, but Carroll got a little speed there and got to the outside. 1st and 10 Mayo.
Watch Mayo try to take a shot here.
Hand off to Bloss up the middle. He is hit, got out of the first tackle, has a first down into St. X territory, being pushed forward, and finally knocked down at about the 40-yard line of St. X. A gain of 15 for Jalen Bloss. I know I'm going to say that wrong. Yeah, it's Bloss with an R.
Wow, you talk about the tide of the game changing here where the Tigers could have got the ball back. Now the Bulldogs have it at the Tiger 40.
And Chris Wolf might have sensed that. Hey, we got to get some of this momentum back. Here's Bloss again up the middle, hit this time, and going to be dropped after a gain of about a yard. Keep in mind, Bulldogs no timeouts with 1:51 to go in the half. Gain of a yard, 2nd down and 9 for Mayo.
Now if I'm the Tigers, I'm really playing a soft zone and trying to get out there by Cummins, watching receivers going down the field because they're going to take a shot here, I guarantee. He's not going to just be satisfied getting to the 39-yard line.
Anthony wide to the left, Rogers to the right. Cummings is standing next to the tight end in the slot to the left. Here's a handoff to Bloss running left. He is short of the first down, brought down about the 32. Give him 7. That's Quantrell Wright this time, excuse me. Clock continues to run down, 1:15 to go in the half. 3rd down and 2 for the Bulldogs.
They take a shot here. They're being very conservative right now.
Here's Bloss running left, in trouble, got out of it. First down and more, and he's going to score. He broke 3 tackles and went down the left sideline, 32 yards. That is a backbreaker.
Well, the Tigers had him bottled up, and they don't make the tackle, and all of a sudden, Bloss pops to the outside, and instead of you're a Tiger fan thinking you have an opportunity to maybe get it to a touchdown, the Bulldogs stretch it out to 34-14 with 55 seconds left in the first half.
And that's just poor tackling because he went right into the middle of the defense on the left side there and broke a couple tackles. You got to bring your guy down. Bark Raiders defense getting roasted tonight. So 28-14, the fake punt allows Mayo to keep the ball, and they go down and score here late in the half. Knuckleball is no good. It is 34-14 Mayo. We'll keep it right here. And now, the Tigers still have 55 seconds, still have 2 timeouts. You don't want to do anything crazy. You get the ball to start the second half, but that's a backbreaker.
It is a definite backbreaker. You're thinking you're getting the ball back with a good couple minutes left, and you've got a chance to really get back in this game. And, boy, a run and play inside that bounces to the outside that goes for a touchdown. That's 2 long runs by the Bulldogs.
He's got 2 32-yard touchdown runs, does Jalen Bloss.
Well, it's impressive, but if you're the Tigers, boy, that just took the wind out of the old sail, didn't it?
It sure did. But you got to get that wind back in the sail.
Yep.
And Makai Smith, Grant Goodman go deep to return this kickoff. Lackey has kicked 5 extra points, 5 kickoffs, a number of punts here. Mekhi Smith takes it at the 8. Right up the left hash to the 20. Cuts back outside at the 25, out near the 27-yard line. Well, spotted, I think, at the 26. 1st and 10 Tigers right there with 49 seconds to go in the half.
Don't think you'll see the Tigers do anything too fancy here, because right now after that play, that's just, if you're a Tiger, if you're a Bulldog fan, I mean, you got to give Coach Wolf all the credit, man. Go with a fake on 4th down in your own
27-yard line.
Nobody saw it coming, and that's why it worked. And now the Bulldogs have stretched this back out to 20 points.
Tigers 49 seconds, 2 timeouts left from Doug Bodine in the shotgun. Got Logan Davis back there with him. Straight drop. Now steps up into the pocket, rolls out to the right. Looking deep, got a man deep down the field, doesn't see him, throws instead short. It's caught at about the 34-yard line. Diving catch by Logan Davis, and Kevin Wallace will use his 2nd timeout here after a gain of about 7 on the check down to the running back.
Well, I don't think that even if Doug Bodine saw, I think it's Michael Duddy all the way down to
that would have been a heave.
Yeah, you don't have that kind of
Michael Bush arm.
All right. That's one you don't see thrown at this level, but
I think Duddy comes back to the hole and says, throw it, and any quarterback would look at him and say, I can't throw it that far.
Especially running away from you. But I think what Coach Wallace is doing here, he's trying to instill confidence in this offense to keep them moving.
Yeah.
Right now, you could just run the ball into the line of scrimmage, get out of here, and take the ball to start the second half. But I think they have seen some things they think they can do throwing the football, and it's worked. But when that other team, the Male Bulldogs, hang a 34 on you in the first half, that's
Tigers haven't been able to run the ball either time.
No, not at all. The Male defensive line has just stymied anything that the Tigers have tried to do.
So 1 timeout left now for Tigers with 36 seconds to go here in the first half.
You got Mekhi Smith over here, man coverage. Run the slot receiver in and throw it up.
He's got Byrne that way as well. Rolling left is Bodine. Screen to the right, caught, hit, dropped after getting the first down. Needed 2 yards and got 2 yards. That was Grant Goodman. That'll stop the clock with 30 seconds as they move the chains, and the Tigers will be able to get to the line of scrimmage and go. They are not doing it quick enough, though.
I think they got what they want over here. Run everybody inside and let Mekhi Smith just play one-on-one.
Bodine, straight drop. In trouble late, hit and dropped. Sacked back at the 32-yard line. And that should end the half if you're Kevin Wallace. No, he'll use the timeout with 11 seconds. Well, we saw the deep ball late in the half against DeSales work when we thought Tigers were going to take a knee, so I guess you throw it up, you never know what can happen.
Well, I don't think they're going to take a knee if they don't timeout. I would doubt that very seriously, but I think Coach Wallace is working on things, just his team right here, the mental part of it offensively more than anything. I don't think he thinks they're going to score, but he wants to show them that we can move the ball, we can keep moving it. Now, the other side of it is defense going to have to do a better job. But this is an explosive Male team. Bross has been really good back there running the football. You've got a couple of receivers that are just big time. And
Tigers 10 carries, 27 yards tonight, Tony.
After a huge game by Logan Davis last week. But we're talking different caliber players with Male Bulldogs than the Henry Clay Blue Devils. But you got to be able to run the ball. You're not going to win games.
Saints Director of Admissions Kurt White will join me at halftime. We're not too far away from open house. We've got the placement test coming in December, and of course, future Tiger Night, which means Kurt White hasn't slept in about 72 hours. We'll talk to him, see how he's doing.
Mel's in punt for
everything going over here at St. Max. Yeah, Mel with 3 deep, very deep. It's a draw play to Davis, and it's going to be a loss of a couple. And that will end the first half. Davis able to get back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. One of the Bulldogs getting up slowly here and limping off, but it's 34-14 at halftime. And Jim Brinkman, I believe, is caught up with the coach. Jimmy?
Hi, we're here with Coach Wallace here at halftime. Your impressions on the first half?
Well, couldn't play much worse on both sides of the ball and special teams. So hopefully we can come back second half. And all we can kind of do is go play by play and try to make an effort to get better.
11 carries, 26 yards on the rushing side.
Yeah, we can't do anything up front. Blocking period, whether it's run game or pass protection, either one. I wish I had an answer. Obviously, we had some good things happen in 2 drives, and other than that, we really struggled. If you become one-dimensional against a team like that, it's got that many athletes in the secondary, you're going to eventually throw one to them, and it's not going to be very good news. And but we're at a point down 21. It's going to be hard to come back and run the ball, especially when you're averaging about, as you said, less than 2 yards a carry.
Okay, I'll let you go, Coach. All right, kicking back to you, John and Tony.
34-14 Mayo at halftime. Well, we've had turnovers, we've had big plays, we've had long drives for the Bulldogs, and a fake punt. They dominated that first half just about every way you can.
Well, I think Coach Wolf has done he's got athletes. There's no doubt about that. But I think they've schemed really well. I think they did a great job. You said it early in the game, knowing what the Tigers they thought would go to offensively, took it away, got the big lead. One big turnover by the Tigers didn't help, but, boy, you cut it to 2 touchdowns, and I'm going back to it again. Not many guys have the guts. That's how much confidence Coach Wolf's got in his team to fake that ball there.
With a sophomore backup quarterback in there, and he was a different guy. It wasn't the same guy that was normally the up man for them. Tigers might have should have seen that coming, but it's something not a lot of teams pay attention to.
Keep people off guard.
Especially at your own 27-yard line.
Yeah, you keep people off guard. Things happen, but it doesn't matter right now. It's a 20-point Bulldog lead here at halftime.
We will take a break, come back with the KHSAA Institute halftime report. Kurt White will join me from the St. X admissions office. 34-14 Mayo here at halftime. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. from deep in their own territory. Chris Wolf has been on his game tonight as the head coach of the Male Bulldogs. Tigers trailed 28-0, scored twice, got back into the game, but a late first half touchdown allows Male to have a 20-point lead at the half. Tigers will get the ball to start the second half, and they obviously have to get something going on that first drive. I am joined by Kurt White, Director of Admissions from St. X Tigers. I said it before I brought you on the air here that this week, future Tiger night, you probably haven't slept in a while. Is that true? Is that accurate?
It's been a busy week. It's been a busy week, that's for sure. But
a great turnout tonight.
It is a fantastic turnout, and looking for these young guys to cheer us on to a victory here and make a nice comeback.
This is a huge crowd. This is 2 games at home this year, 2 huge crowds. We had, of course, the alumni night for the opener against the Sales, and I'm not going to say as big a crowd, but it's close.
Very close, very close. And what a great night, and great night for the community, and really to be able to come out and see what St. X is all about for our families and for the community as well.
With the limited home schedule this year, you've got Hall of Honors night coming up in the next home game, then the final home games in November. This is kind of the only night you could really have future Tiger night. This is earlier than usual, right?
This is earlier. With the bowl game last week, we lost a home game, but that's okay. So this is what we get, and we're going to make the best out of it. The great thing is it's pretty good timing because we started Shadow Days this week.
First week for that, right?
First week for that. So got that going. Walkabout Wednesdays for parents. We had a first for that this past Wednesday. We've got it going on again next Wednesday, and it's that time of year for us, and we're looking to have all of our prospective students and future Tigers and their families on campus as much as possible from now until placement test, which is on December the 14th. So
for the parents that are listening, tell them what the Walkabout Wednesday is if they don't know.
Walkabout Wednesday is a very unique opportunity for parents to be in the school building during a normal school day. Although an extraordinary school day, which is every day, but it's a normal school day. We get them in the hallways, we let them see some classes, and really just let them see what it's like on a day-to-day, because the open house that we have and things like that, it's all on display. Everything is out and running, and it's just a spectacle to see. We want to see what it's like, the nuts and bolts of every day, and really the school culture, how we promote that brotherhood every day, and really just how great our guys are with each other, with one another, and they're here to do business, and they do a great job.
Best way for people to get in touch with you is what?
You can call me on my direct line, which is 502-634-2145. You can email me at cwhite@saintx.com. It's SAINTX.com. And also the best resource, honestly, is probably the website. Go to saintx.com, click on admissions, and there's pretty much everything that you need to know about the enrollment process, what's coming up, the events that we're having on campus, and everything that you would really need to get your son here next year.
It's too early to talk about open house, though, right?
Never too early. Sure. Never too early. So open house is November the 10th, and that is open to anyone and everyone. We welcome all, and we really want everyone to come and see all the opportunities we have for our students, all the resources, everything that we can offer. And it's really any interest. We have something for everybody. Yeah, we're having a great football game tonight, but, the new innovation lab and the engineering area that we have is top notch. I'm telling you what, it looks like a factory in there. Cutting sheet metal and routers and things like that. It's just unbelievable the things that we are doing to invest in our students and to invest in their futures.
And one of the things freshmen get to do is Tiger Blast, right?
Tiger Blast, next Wednesday. They cannot wait. So we kicked it off today with a nice announcement this morning. The team captains, which are juniors and seniors, are already juiced up and ready to go.
It's a crazy day.
It is a crazy day. But, the important thing about that day, yes, we're going to be active. Yes, we're going to be doing a lot of different things. But the key thing is we're going to be doing it together. We're really going to be building that band of brothers that we love to talk about so much here at St. X. And it's just fun. And we really want to see our guys encourage one another, kind of get out of their shell a little bit, and really explore the opportunity and know what it's like. We'll be singing the fight song like crazy. We'll be doing cheers in the students section. We'll be doing all kinds of different things to make sure that these guys really know what it's like to be a Tiger.
All right, man. I hate to do this to you, but you got to get back to work.
Absolutely.
Thank you for giving me about 7 minutes.
I appreciate it.
I know it's a busy night for you. Kurt White, Director of Admissions from St. X, 34-14. Mail leads you at the break. We'll be back with more. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissell Impact Sports Radio Network. Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Todd Powers, Kevin Klein, Catherine Klein. Everybody's in the booth tonight.
Clan.
It's the Klein Clan, which, again, Tony, security breakdown.
Man, look at all the people up here, John.
Security breakdown. There's so many people in the press box, you would think it was raining.
It's like being at Mail on a night with the rains, huh?
Yeah, exactly. 34-14, Tony. Tigers will get the ball to start the second half. What has to happen? Not to win this game, but to feel good about yourself after this game.
Well, we talked about, Doug Bodine getting his confidence back. He did on the last couple of drives, Coach Wallace. And you could tell in Coach Wallace's voice he was very frustrated and how they had been dominated, but they didn't, when they were down 28-0, they come back and scored 2 touchdowns, and I know we keep talking about it, but everybody says a great call by Coach Wolf, called him off guard. He did.
Yeah.
But that was a gutsy call, which most coaches won't take that challenge. That shows you what kind of confidence he has. Mel has great athletes, but where they're really winning the game is up front with their defensive line. If you can't run the football, like Coach Wallace said, you can't be one-dimensional and beat a team like Mel. Too many good athletes out there.
Maybe their buses should break down more often, because that looked like a number one team in the state right there.
It did
in that first half.
You can look at the scores against Ballard, the score against Floyd Central, and then you go, gosh, they hung 34 on the Tigers in the first half. I think that's the most depressing thing if you're a Tiger fan. But that last run by Bross, that just, boy, really, really hurt the Tigers with 55 seconds left in the first half.
We will take one more break here on the Eye Care Institute halftime report. We'll be back with second half action, 34-14. Mayo with the lead. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissell Impact Sports Radio Network.
This has been the Eye Care Institute halftime report. Stand by for live second half action on the Bissell Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hey, St. X fans.
timing as Micah Lockey puts toe to ball. Makai Smith will take it at the 10 for the Tigers. Back toward the middle of the field. Now he cuts back at the 20 to the 30. He's in the deep in the secondary to the 40 to the 50 and tackled by the kicker. Well, hit by the kicker. Fights his way inside the 45. All the way down to the 42-yard line. Is there a flag on the play?
I'm looking at the referee.
There is a flag on the play somewhere because it's going to be a block in the back against the Tigers. And this will push them back. The flag is right on the 25-yard line, which takes a big return from Makai Smith. And if, things are going well, that's not called. If things are not going well, that's called. And things are not going well tonight.
Yeah,
Tigers have a first down at the 15 to start their first drive of the second half. It's an important drive here, Tony, as much for confidence as it is for trying to get back in the football game.
Yeah, we talked about that off the air. You're playing for the whole season. You're not just playing for this game. This game is not a district game. It's the game you want to win, but you got to get better. And boy, the Tigers excited about a great run by Makai Smith, and now they'll start at their own 15 when it comes back.
Doug Bodine will take the snap. Logan Davis behind him. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Fake to Davis, over the middle, caught, ball hole across the 30. And that time he was lined up at tight end, not in the H-back spot. Caught it on the run. Great throw from Bodine and got to the 35. It's a gain of 20 and a first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, and Jalen Borho needed that catch. He dropped one earlier in the game for confidence-wise, and a nice play action, just a little fake to Logan Davis, and then get the ball down up to about the 35.
Smith to the left, 3 to the right on 1st and 10. Now in motion comes Makai Smith to put 4 that way. They'll throw it to him, and he dropped it out of the backfield.
Well, they're trying to get the ball to a playmaker there. They put him in motion and get it out quickly and hope you can get some good blocking. But
not a bad throw. He's got to bring that in.
That's one of those ones I think you're looking up the field to see where you're going and you don't have the football. But
second and 10, ball at their own 35-yard line. Tigers come out with 2 quick passes here.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see a lot of short passes, hoping to bring them up and then take your shots, because the Tigers have not been able to run the ball against that male front 3 guys have just stacked it up.
Second down and 10. Bodine, long, deep throw down the left side into double coverage and overshot Makai Smith. Well, Coates had him from the corner spot, and there was a safety leaning that way as well, so Doug Bodine just got rid of that one and threw it into the middle bench. It's 3rd and 10.
Well, he locked in on the one receiver, and he just threw it out. Unless that's just the play to say throw it, he had 3 other guys running down the field, and he just heaved it, and luckily for the Tigers, he did throw it where he did, out of bounds. But now you get that nice play on 1st down, you got yourself in 3rd and 10 again. A little bit of confusion.
A lot of confusion, looks like. But now they're lined up.
Referee's raised his hand back here.
1 to the left, 3 to the right. Bodine takes a snap, straight drop, 4-man rush, looks over the middle, looks deep down the middle. He's got Byrne, and he overshot him just by a little bit.
It's a step on him. Ball just missed him a little bit. But if you're the Tigers and you want to get back in this game, you can't miss by a little bit. You got to be on the money and hope for big plays.
Bennett Bayline will kick it away with 11:08 to go in the quarter here. And the first he lost it, and Mayo gets it back. Once again, when things aren't going your way, they just don't bounce your way. As Anthony went off his shoulder pad, and Wilson was there to fall on it back at the 25-yard line, where Mayo will take over 1st and 10. Anthony Woods was there along with another Tiger, but you're right. Give Wilson credit. He saw it and jumped on it right away.
Yeah, when the ball, when it's your night, it's your night. And Tigers need to make something happen defensively here and get it back for the offense. But the Bulldogs have been really good on offense tonight.
Wright will start in the backfield here in the second half. And he will get the call running left, coming up to meet him right at the line of scrimmage. And slow to get up is Ken Schaffner for the Tigers. Wilson was there. Schaffner holding his left hand. Wants to stay in, and he will. Minimal gain here. It's 2nd down. We'll call it 10. As the ball just went from the 25 to just across the 25.
Well, just kind of a stretch play, just a handoff to the left side, and Braden Wilson came up from his safety spot to make the initial hit. Now the Bulldogs, 2nd and 10.
Two receivers in the pattern and two in the slot. Wanting to throw is Parrish. Throws and has a man wide open. It is Cummings who catches it and is dropped as he crosses the 40 at about the 45-yard line. He got behind the zone there, Tony, and good throw from Parrish to hit him in between defenders. It's a gain of 20 and a first down for the Bulldogs.
Well, they've done it all night. They've put Elijah Cummings in just off the slot, and then they throw to him, and great players make great plays.
Low snap, handoff given to right, running right. He's got 5, he's got 6 before he's hauled down in St. X territory. They'll spot him actually at the 49 of Mayo, where the knee, I guess, went down. It's a gain of 4 to bring up second down and 6. Well, a low snap and a nice play from Parrish. You were going to say that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and the right side of that Mayo offensive line doing a great job of getting downfield and running those Tigers backwards.
Second down. It's a short 6. We'll call it 5 here. Parrish takes a snap, hands it off up the middle. This is Bross. He's got the first down. Tigers arm tackling again, and Jalen Bross has shown us tonight you've got to bring him down. There is a Tiger down, and I'm not sure who that is. Maybe Nick Walsh, but we'll check on it. He's down on the middle side of the field at the 46-yard line. As the medical staff heads out that way, but it's a first down for Mayo, just outside the 37-yard line of St. X. A couple of first downs quickly on this opening drive of the second half by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that offensive line from Mayo doing a really nice job up front. But, John, something I think, and I didn't see the first 2 games by Mayo, but the way they played Cummings last week and doubled him, Coach Wolf has decided that Cummings is going to stay in the slot, and they're going to dare you to guard him with a linebacker. Now, do you want to bring the safety up? And if you do that, then you open a spot. And I like what Coach Wolf's done with Elijah Cummings.
Tiger defense going to have to stiffen here on this first drive of the second half because while it would be a long shot to come back here, you still have a chance here. If Mayo scores here, it's can you bar the doors? The only question would be the final score.
Yeah, and it's mentally as much as anything you want to get things right.
It is Nick Walsh. He is walking off without any assistance here. That is good news.
Attention, please. There are a number of automobiles illegally parked.
Rob Schweitzer making the announcement there are some illegally parked automobiles. Well, that's what happened what happens when 45,000 people come to a St. X game. Tony Burke intently listening for his license plate.
Well, no, I'm not worried parked. No, I'm always listening when I can't get into the parking lot. I mean, you would think I'd have a spot there.
You would think so. First and 10 Bulldogs. At the Tiger 37-yard line. Up the middle, here's Bross, big hole. It closes as he crosses the 35, and he fights his way for 3 more yards. I'll tell you what, Tony, that is just 3 yards he should not have gotten at the end of that play. Tigers are being out tough right now.
Well, that hole was huge. I had the binoculars on it. It opened up, and right now Mayo's doing everything downhill.
Gain of 9, second and 1. Here's Bross running to the right. Has a hole. He got the first down. Bounced off another tackle and just keeps going.
Well, Bross has shown us something tonight. Jalen Bross is a 5'10", 195 junior running back, and he does not go down if you try to just reach out and grab him. And he's been the man here running the football for the Bulldogs.
They're at the 19-yard line with under 9 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Tigers have to get a stop here of some kind. Parrish takes the snap, give it a right, up the middle, hit and dropped for a loss of a yard that time.
Peckinpah was there, and I'm not sure who else.
Cotton got off the bottom of the pile, and Andrew Fry, the defensive lineman, the junior, who's in there for Nick Walsh, in on the tackle as well. Loss of a yard, second down and 11 for the Bulldogs. And what Chris Wolf's team also is doing here, Tony, is a lot of running plays, time ticking off the clock.
Got checked for Tiger defense.
Rolling left, handoff here, late handoff to right, I believe. He gets to the 15. He can push backwards there. It's a gain of about 5. We'll bring up a 3rd and 5. And it was Quantrell right on the carry. 3rd and actually about 6 to go here for the Bulldogs. Tigers need to stop. I would be surprised if the Bulldogs don't go twice if they don't get it on the first one. Here's a run to the left by Wright. He's going to be brought down short of the first down. Got to the 13, only a gain of 2. That'll bring up a 4th and 4 for the Mayo Bulldogs.
Gilliam and Bo are there on the play.
Coach Wolf in the media stuff this week said he's not happy with his special teams in any way, shape, or form. They missed an extra point tonight. And it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field here on 4th and 4.
Well, Mel does a good job. The running backs get in behind those big guys and just use them as graders to get through there.
3 to the right, 1 to the left. Right in the backfield with Parrish. Takes the snap, wants to throws, has a man at the 8, and he's going to go into the end zone. It is Isaiah Cummings with the touchdown. Well, he just went to the 8-yard line, turned around, caught the pass, and then made some moves.
I'm watching John. He was in the slot, and nobody was guarding him. He did. The safeties were back. He caught the ball. Nobody was within 5 yards. And how do you lose Isaiah Cummings? He's the one guy on the field that you can't lose. These other guys are good, but got 6'4" wide receivers wide open and just goes into the end zone.
It's hard to lose a 6'4" wide receiver. But that time the Tigers found a way to do it. Micah Lackey in for the extra point. And this would give the Bulldogs a 27-point lead here midway through the third quarter. Kick is up and good. It is 41-14 Mayo, 7:06 to play in the quarter. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network. Back at St. X, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. Mackay Smith on the kick return with the Tigers field position at their own 29-yard line to start their second drive of the second half. 41-14 Mayo with the lead, and they dominated the line of scrimmage, Jimmy.
Yeah, they dominated
everything.
Doug Bodine actually got all the starting wide receivers over there and brought them over and after the last drive, after the other point, and be interesting to see, how they respond. This is a gut check here, and it's a matter of how do we respond and how do we get better.
1st and 10. Baylor Bayline is in one of the tight ends now. Along Borho in there as well, so some different guys in there. And a bad snap goes all the way back to the 10, and falling on it inside the 10 is Bodine. Not sure it was a bad snap. I don't think he was ready for it.
John, he wasn't ready, and the ball shot right by him.
And again, things are going wrong. They snowball. That is a loss back to the 8-yard line. Loss of 21 on the play. It'll be 2nd and a 3rd of the football field here.
Yeah, I don't think Doug Bodine was ready for the snap. I could be wrong. Our angle's not great, and I couldn't really tell on the replay, but that's not how you wanted to start this drive after Mel just goes down the field.
Goodman and Smith wide to the right. 2 tight ends to the left on 2nd and long. Here's Davis on the carry, running up the middle, and Kersey gets a hold of him, brings him down as he crosses the 10-yard line, maybe 11, gain of 3. And that'll bring up 3rd and 28 as we hit the 6-minute mark here in the third quarter. Tigers aren't real careful here, Tony. They will get running clocked. They usually do that to people, but the foot is on the other shoe here tonight. So Davis in the backfield, Warhol the H-back. Baylor Bayline, tight end to the left. 2 receivers to the right on 3rd and 28. What do you got in the playbook for 3rd and 28 here, Tony?
That's a good question.
How about Logan Davis running right, cutting inside? He's to the 15. Makes a man miss. Tripped up at the 20. We had a lot of green in front of him if that last tackler doesn't trip him up. But he did, and the Tigers will have to kick it away. Selah Brown was the last guy that had a shot at Logan Davis, or he might still be running.
Yeah, he kind of went to the right, cut it back, and there was some ground, but just got enough of him to get him down, and now gives Bennett Bayline a little bit of space to punt the ball, and he's punted the ball very well tonight.
Wilson and Anthony are deep, and they are really deep for the Middle Bulldogs here. Bayline boots it out of there, high, booming kick. Fair catch called for and taken by Vincel Anthony at his own 42-yard line. Well, John, 35-yard kick, no return, and Mill will take over on offense with 4:41 to go here in the third quarter.
The Tigers' opponent, Central, they're trailing 21-14 against Fern Creek.
Tigers will be at the Hive next week. 7:30 kickoff. We'll be back here on KRD at 7:05 as always. Always a fun time going down to Central High School. They take care of us down there. They're in the press box. It's a little humid in there, but they give us a nice amount of space. Parrish takes the snap, hands it off, up the middle, goes right, big hole across midfield, tackled from behind by Peckinpah, who is holding his leg and slow to get up now. It's a first down for Mail at the St. X 46-yard line. Pickup of 11. Peckinpah now limping toward the sideline. He got himself up. They're telling him stay in there.
Time to
go down. Yeah, he's down and maybe should have never got back up.
Well, John, I was watching the replay on that. Good job by the Mail offensive line, but boy, Wright did a nice job of reading his block and getting up the field. And right now, we talked about it a bunch, but those big guys from Mail are just really dominating that defensive line of the Tigers.
And so Peckinpah made the tackle, got up on one hash mark, tried to limp off, and now he's on the other hash mark, closer to the St. X bench. Looks like maybe a cramp. There's Danny McDonald out there to take a look at him.
Well, you know, John, some nights it's just your night, and tonight it's not, and the Tigers have to stay focused. They still have to get better tonight, but Mail has dominated this football game.
Is there a point in this game, Tony, where you Moss kind of put your backups in and say, you know what, we don't want to get anybody hurt in this game? It's 41-14 Mail, and they're in St. X territory again here.
Well, as a coach, I think you want your kids to tough it out. You want them to keep fighting, and then it comes to a point, yes. But right now, a lot of time still left in this game with 4 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Parrish takes a snap, hands it to Wright, up the middle again, big hole again. Well, I don't know where the nose tackle is in this 3-4 defense, but he's not plugging up the middle, I can tell you that, because that's another 14 yards for Quantrell Wright. This Mail offensive line is dominating the Tigers. There's another Tiger down. It looks like a cramp again. That is cursed. That's Cotton, I believe. You know, when it's 41-14, you don't want the game slowing down with cramps. Let's get out of here, right?
Yeah, Cotton grabbed his right calf. But once again, watching the replay, it's just Mail dominating the St. X defense line and getting to the linebackers too. They are just on a roll offensively, and Tigers can't stop them. I wish I could tell you something different, but it's what it is right now.
And
unfortunately,
in this schedule, Tony, I mean, you got Central next week. You go to Bowling Green the week after that. Then you go to Trinity before your bye week. It's not going to get any easier. Well, I mean, it might get easier. You know, Central is not Mail. But as we look at the schedule, after the week off, October 11th, you come back at Manual, Butler at home, and PRP on the road. Those three are district games. Finish the season as they've done for a number of seasons now at home against Cincinnati St. X on November 1st before you hit the playoffs. And the playoffs are going to be a little different this year. Mail is not in your district any longer. They'll use the RPI when they get to a certain point in the playoffs to actually seed teams for matchups. The bottom line on all that said and done is that St. X and Mayo will probably meet in the semifinal. Winner will probably play Trinity in the 6A championship.
Yeah, it's pretty much, and I heard you on the radio talking about it, that it looks like 3 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're being, now tonight it looks like 2 teams maybe. We haven't seen Trinity, but Mayo has just been dominant. Talking about Manual, I just pulled up a Manual score here. They trail 36-28 at Scott County.
That's impressive by Manual now. Scott County's good. Scott County had to drop to 5A this year because of the new school, Greater Crossing, I believe it's called. Great Crossings in Georgetown, Kentucky. So Scott County with enrollment. It looks to me, however, that Great Crossings took the non-athletes and Scott County kept their football team together.
Well, they speculated what was going to happen numbers-wise and everything, and I don't think Scott County got hurt too bad, it doesn't look like.
Curtis Cotton finally up and walking off the field under his own, whatever the word is I'm looking for.
Well, if you have a bright spot, the freshman yesterday beat the Bulldogs 35-7, and it was 35-0 starting early in the second half.
All right, 1st and 10 Mayo to St. X 32. So they try to tack on some more points, and they're doing it on the ground. Here's Bross again across the 30. Finally tackled down at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 7. And that is a short gain for this Bulldog running game so far tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to be an offensive lineman that gets 2 arms out and grabs a guy that goes by. I'm not complaining, but...
2nd down and 3 for Mayo at the St. X 25. Here's Bross running to the right, and he is hauled down. They're going to throw the flag. That's a horse collar. Nick Walsh got him, but you can't do it that way, and that's going to cost the Tigers half the distance to the goal. And that official on the far side, he sort of looked like he didn't want to throw the flag. He knows it's 41-14.
Well, John, you know, a lot of the guys up front for the Tigers go just over 200 pounds. Lost 205, and I'm telling you, these guys up front for me, I don't have numbers on them, but Jim said it earlier in the game, they are big, and they're just physically, size-wise, you know, have the advantage off, and now the Tigers get a nice play, and now the Bulldogs will move it inside on the penalty down.
So half the distance, moves it to the 13-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Mayo. 3:28 still left here in the third quarter. Here's Bross up the middle, huge hole inside the 10 to the 5, fighting off tacklers, and that is embarrassing that he got into the end zone. It is almost, it's tough to say, but a lack of effort on the defensive end there because they had him stopped at the 5. As you look at the replay here.
Yeah, good blocking again initially, and then they have a hold. They hit him at the 5.
Push him back.
He just fights and fights. He doesn't stop going, and he fights about 3 Tigers from the 5-yard line and goes in for the touchdown.
3rd touchdown of the night for Jalen Bross. He's gone 32 yards twice, and this one 13. And the Bulldogs getting ready to get near 50 here.
I mean, he's just a junior.
Late in the third quarter. Micah Lackey in for the extra point try. Boots it up and through. It is 48-14 Mayo. And I think we said earlier in the game we didn't see this coming. We really didn't see this coming. What is the message, Jim Brinkman, to the defensive line right now for the Tiger defensive staff here?
Well, I think all the same. We're going to be looking at second-team players. We did see Jack Samori warming up, you know, so we may see some of them on this next offensive play. But from the defensive line, I mean, and really the whole front 7, they've just not tackled tonight.
Yeah.
You know, we've run into a superior athlete where we absolutely have to wrap, you know, that player, and they've been able to run through those arm tackling, as you guys have mentioned. So,
yeah, that's you know, it's just poor tackling tonight. Now, give the offensive line of Mayo a lot of credit here. They're monsters and they're doing their job, but you know, your linebackers, your safeties, they got to come up and make plays, and they are not doing it. New kicker here for the Bulldogs, left-footed. And it's going to chase Mekhi Smith back to the 5. They'll take it at the 4 as it bounces backwards and get to the 10. Fights off one tackle and gets out to about the 13. But that is it for Mekhi Smith. Tigers will start deep in their own territory. And you got to give a little love to the Josh Gomez, senior kicker.
He's the best kicker of the night.
Best kicker of the night by their
they've kicked a lot of them, too.
Yes, they have. 5 in the first half, 3 so far, including the opening kickoff in the second half. First and 10 Tigers at their own 14-yard line.
Well, if there's any hangover from a state championship by the male Bulldogs, we don't see it tonight because they've been good at all facets of the game.
All right. Now the offensive line here, Tony, gonna stay with the starters. Basically, you guys have not been good, so get out there and try to get better. But Jack Savoy is the quarterback. Justin Walsh is the running back. Luke Spears is in at wide receiver. Here's Walsh, started left, cut it back to the right, hit at the line of scrimmage, and push back.
There's nothing there.
Manning was yet another tackle for the Bulldogs. It's a loss of a yard back to the 13, second and long. And really, Tony, Mills one score here away from the running clock.
And I don't think anybody would have predicted that tonight.
Jason Frakes from the Courier's here. This is Game of the Week in the Courier Journal. So the Game of the Week is never picked because you think it's going to be a blowout. Savoy in the shotgun. Jack was 0 for 4 with an interception coming into this game tonight. He will hand it off to Walsh running left. Negative yardage again. Hit and dropped. Back at the 11, it will be 3rd and 13. Chaz Webster, the senior, made the tackle, and it will be 3rd and long. Nearing the 2-minute mark here in the third quarter. You never want to get run ruled. You never want to get that running clock against you. I think it's kind of a source of pride, but Tigers in danger of that exact thing happening here tonight. Savoy in the shotgun on 3rd and 13 as Tony has decided no more talking. Fake to Walsh. Savoy wants to throw, and he lost the football. It's on the ground, and they call it an incomplete pass. He wanted to throw it deep down the middle to Luke Spears, and then I think he had second thoughts and just came out of his hand. Luckily, the official called an incomplete pass. It is 4th down.
Yeah, he stepped up, and I think the ball just came out of his hand as he was going to throw it.
Bennett Bayline in to kick it away for the Tigers.
They're watching the replay. It just slipped out of his hand.
Lincel Anthony and Curtis Wilson deep for Mayo. Saying that's with too many guys on the field here. Now one gets off. Bayline takes a snap. This one off the side of his foot, hitting to the right, and bounces at about the 30-yard line into the Cenex bench. And when it rains, it pours, folks. Ball at the 30, and at 31, that's where Mayo will take over 1st and 10 with 1:26 to go here in the third quarter.
Well, you're still looking for positives if you're Coach Wallace. I know that sounds like, well, yeah, right, 48 to 14, but he's got to see who still wants to play. And we'll see if the Bulldogs come out here. They come back out with their first.
They do. And, you know, the Tigers kind of waved the white flag there when you bring in the backups. But
I think they're wanting to get the running clock and show that.
And Chris Wolf say, let's leave our starters in there. Now Motley's still in there for the Tigers. There are some guys that are still the starters. Hand off to right, running to the right. Ken Schaffner, starter, makes the tackle as he dove at Quantrell Wright. Inside the 30 to about the 27. It's a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6. Hale Bowler still in there, and he was in on the tackle as well. So Tiger defense looks like mostly starters out there still. Maybe because Kevin Wallace is telling them get out there and stop somebody. Rogers and Cummings to the right. Vincent goes wide to the left on 2nd and 6. And using as much clock as they can. Here's an inside handoff to right. He's across the 25 down, short of the first down marker at the 22. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Bowler and Schaffner in on the tackle.
Bowler looks like he is He will come off. Didn't want to come out. Kind of waved the substitution off, but the coach is getting him out of there as he took a shot. 3rd down and 1 for the Bulldogs. That will end the 3rd quarter. Luckily, only 12 minutes to go in this one. It is 48-14 Mayo. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hey, St. X fans.
The sophomores in the game. It is
I had listed at the Eye Care Institute, and I want to let you know.
What were we saying?
Laura?
No.
Underway. Mayo leads St. X 48-14. Bulldogs have 3rd and 1 at the Tiger 22-yard line. Here's a handoff to Isaiah Cummings on the jet sweep, and he is cut down as he dives for the first down marker. They're going to say he is a little bit short. They'll spot it at the 22. Actually, no gain on the play. We'll bring up a 4th and 1, and the Bulldogs will go for it here.
Interesting that you have your all-state wide receiver running a jet sweep up 30.
And he got chopped down too, Tony. It was dangerous. Here's a handoff to Wright, running left. He's got the first down and more down the left sideline. Pushed out of bounds by Schaffner. As he got inside the 10, they'll spot it at the 9. It'll be 1st and goal. Yet another 4th down conversion for Mayo. Coming into this quarter, Tony, Mayo 33 carries, 263 yards. 49 offensive plays for the Bulldogs.
Well, once again,
3 quarters of play.
They just manhandled the Tigers up front. A big lane to run through for Wright.
1st and goal at the 9. Parrish takes a snap, gives it to Wright up the middle. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and pushed back in. Schaffner, and that is Daniel Toast also getting a piece of him. They'll give him a yard to the 8-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, if there's any bright spot on the Tiger defense tonight, it's been Kenneth Schaffner. Schaffner's made a lot of plays from his linebacker spot, but he needs some help.
Actually, no gain. They move it back to the 9-yard line. I don't think we can have a player of the game on the St. X defense tonight when they give up 48 in 3 quarters. I mean, I'm against that.
Maybe the guys that didn't play?
Rogers goes wide to the right. That's the wide side of the field. Parrish, there's a whistle, of course. We're going to have a penalty here.
Legal procedure.
Penalty or an injury or something to stop the clock. Stop the madness. It is a false start against the Bulldogs. They will walk backwards. Move it back to the 14. It'll still be 2nd and goal with 11:03 to play.
Hate to say it with 11:03 left in the game, but next week will be a big bounce back for the Tigers. Central right now trails 27-14 to Fern Creek.
Central's a 4A team this year, is that correct?
Correct.
Pistol formation here, right in the backfield. He'll get the call up the middle. Picking his way inside the 10 down near the 6-yard line before he's tripped up. Now, both Wright and Bloss do such a good job of getting behind that line and finding the hole that offensive line creates. They've done it all night.
I like to have sizes on the offensive line, and we are not privileged to that because we have to get it off the internet. They're not all on there, John. That's I've already looked to see. But the internet's a great thing. It keeps us up to date. But boy, sometimes we need better rosters. And right now, the Bulldogs are knocking on the door to get this clock running.
Give Wright 9 yards on the last play. It is 3rd and goal at the 5.
Kersey in it.
Kersey in the Wildcat here. Takes the snap, runs forward, and Tigers do a great job. 1 yard loss there. Once again, Bowler just said, he's back there, I'm going to go get him. And nobody blocked Hale Bowler. And it'll be 4th and goal, and here comes the field goal unit. field goal actually would get the running clock going here.
Yeah, interesting to see Kersey come in the game in that situation, up 34 to run the football. The Tigers do a good job that time of stopping it.
It's going to be Jordy Gomez, the senior. Well, it was going to be Jordy Gomez. Now he runs off. And
never seen this. Switching kickers.
I think right foot. I think Parrish didn't know how to hold the ball from the other side, so they had to bring Lackey in. The field goal is up, and it is good. 51-14 Mayo. We'll take a break. 9:19 to go. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. St. X, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. The clock is running here against the St. X Tigers. A running clock as Mayo leads 51-14. Ball fumbled back into the end zone, but right at the goal line, picked up and returned out to the 10-yard line on a flag. As Grant Goodman kind of went back. Looked like he muffed it into the end zone, went back and got it. The officials allowed him to run it out there. And then a little horse collar. Little horse collar against Mayo. That'll be one against each team. That'll move it out to the 26-yard line. The Tigers will have a 1st and 10 there with 9:01 to play. But this is going to be a quick fourth quarter now, Tony.
It is, and like you said,
had one last week, but it was on the good side.
Yeah, and can't remember this happening anywhere, but give Mayo all the credit tonight. They've just dominated every aspect of this game. It looked like Tigers were going to get back in it in the first half, and then the Bulldogs tacked on another touchdown to lead 34-14, but second half here, it's just been all Bulldogs.
Liam O'Day, Luke Spears go wide to the right. One receiver to the left, and Jack Savoy in the shotgun. He's got Justin Walsh back there with him. He'll hand it to Walsh. Up the middle, not much there. Good hard running by Justin as he gets across the 25. Out to about the 28, a well-deserved 2 yards there. It'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Well, Jack Savoy, the backup, the sophomore, got his first opportunity against Mayo last year on the fly and played well. They're just trying to get him as that backup quarterback comfortable. He's the quarterback probably of the future. Bear Bayline, another sophomore, has played some quarterback. So good things there, but Jack Savoy, maybe see if he can get a completion here. I think he's going to throw this one.
Nope, it's Walsh again. Walsh again running left, hit at the 25 and drop. Mayo not respecting the pass at all right now, but
and this tells me, John, the St. X coaching staff has decided to run the ball and keep that clock running just to get out.
Run anyway.
No, I know, but just you're right. No, good point.
You can throw it incomplete, and it's going to keep running.
Good point.
Walsh back to the 25, brings up 3rd and 11 with 7:45 to go.
I think you got to let the kid throw it.
It's different being on the other end of this. We've been on the good end of running clocks before. It is strange. I'm not going to lie to you, being on the other end of this.
Well,
it's humbling.
It's exactly. That's why when you're on the other side, you have to understand sometimes. But boy, it's
3rd and 11. We'll see if they let him throw it. Jack does want to throw it. Now he's going to pull it down and run, and he's not going to get much. Across the 25 to the 27-yard line, and the Tigers will, I'm assuming here, kick it away. Bennett Bayline will come in to punt for the Tigers. Anthony and Wilson go deep. for the Tigers. Clock continues to run with 6:40 to play. High but short kick by Bayline. It's going to be fair caught by Anthony. He lets it go. It bounces, takes a Tiger bounce inside the 40 and down at the 40 at the 37. We'll take a break with 6:30 to go. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Target St. X, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. Second and 11 from Miller after a 1-yard loss. Chad Carroll, the new quarterback, the sophomore, might have made the biggest play of the game here tonight on a fake punt, 4th down in the second quarter from his own 27-yard line. Now he's in at backup quarterback for Mel. And I know it's hard to say it's a big play in a 51-14 game. Well, at the time the Tigers had gotten back into that game with 28-14, and Mel was set up to punt at their own 27-yard line. And Chris Wolf called for the fake, and maybe the biggest call of the game.
And from then on, it's been all Bulldogs when the Tigers were coming back. Will Dara, sophomore middle linebacker, with the tackle.
Will Dara is going to be a name to remember for the next 2.5 years. 3rd and long for Carroll. He looks to the sideline. They're in no hurry with 4.5 to play here. Takes a snap, hands it off, running to the right and then back into the middle.
Held Bowler, the first one there.
Matthew Ford, sophomore running back, in his 2nd consecutive carry, and Mill will have to punt it away. Will Motley goes deep. Tigers, I think, keeping their starting defense in there sort of as a punishment, maybe?
There's different numbers. You got a few guys in there. You've got different guys. You got Darren. You got, well,
Schaffner's still in there. Bowler's still in there.
Ben Marks was at linebacker. I mean, they've mixed guys up.
William is still in there. Now, of course, it's a punt return team now. On 4th and long.
Linebacker.
So the Bulldogs, Lackey kicks it out of there. Good high kick. Not much depth. Fair catch called for and dropped, and falling on it is Will Motley at about the 39. We'll take a break with 3.5 to play. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. St. X, John and Tony after an offsides. John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. I don't want to shortchange the other guys.
Bennett Bayline, quarterback, John.
High snap. Bayline went right through his hands and right to the running back, who was caught for a 3-yard loss back to the 42-yard line. That one, a high snap, went right through the hands of Baylor Bayline and ended up in the Bayline and ended up in the arms of Justin Walsh, who got hit for a 3-yard loss. It was 2nd and 8 for the Tigers.
Yeah, I think Justin said, I don't want to run that play again. I'll catch it up in the air and everybody's running at me.
Bennett Bayline, starting punter, third-string quarterback.
Unfortunately, he's been on the field a lot tonight.
That's a good point. He will throw over the middle, has a man. It's caught, fighting his way for a first down across the 50-yard line. That's his brother. Bayline to Bayline. So I talked about this last week. They were in the game at the same time last week. How about you get the brothers to pitch and catch with each other, and that just happened. Unfortunately, it's in a 37-point game.
Well, the big brother probably said, throw me the ball or you're going to pay for it.
Ball at the 48. It's a gain of 10 on the Bayline to Bayline connection. Clock continues to run with 1:19 to play. Hello to Ed Peak listening. I don't know why he's still listening to this game, but he is. Rolling out to the right is Bennett Bayline. He steps out of bounds on the middle sideline. Of course, clock will continue to run. Pick up of about 3 yards on the play to the 45. Maybe time to get 1 or 2 more plays in if you actually really want to. But all Bulldogs tonight. The student section hung around, still cheering over there. A lot of people have left this game, not just St. X people, but male people as well. Hello to Mrs. Peak as well. I got another text there. I get in trouble if I don't say hi to her. She'll come after me with a meat cleaver. Seen her do it. Pass incomplete, overthrown. Intended for, got to get the name out there correctly, Blakely Tanner. But good coverage, and Bayline overshot it. This one's over. Final score, and you wouldn't have believed it if I'd have told you before the game, Mayo 51, St. X 14. We'll be back with more. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network.
Turn 82.
First name?
Jane.
Jamie? Jane. Back at St. X, I'm talking to Todd Powers because his mother, Jane Powers, turned 80 on Tuesday. So happy birthday. I'm sure Jane, 5114, wanted to listen to the post game here. So happy birthday to Todd Powers' mom, her 80th.
Todd likes to throw out their ages, doesn't he?
51-14, Mayo with the win tonight over St. X. We'll come back with the Eye Care Institute post-game report. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network. St. X, a humbling loss for the St. X Tigers tonight, 51-14 against...
You're listening to Cards Radio 7
former
KRD.
All right, I don't want to hear Jody demoing that. Yeah. A humbling loss for the Tigers tonight against a former district opponent, no longer a district opponent, but still a rivalry game. And Mayo comes to Brother Thomas More Stadium and leaves with a running clock and a 51-14 victory over the St. X Tigers. I don't know if this is better than a 28-27 last-second loss or not, but it sure doesn't feel very good.
No, but one thing it does, it's not a district loss, like you said. It's only one loss. Tigers are 2-1. They go to Central next week. You rebound. And it's too early in the season to worry about what the final score was. It's go back tomorrow, look at the film, figure out where you're going to get better, who needs to do what. You're probably more than likely going to see this male team again in the playoffs, and it's down to one thing is mentally how you rebound, and the other one is, hey, let's go win the next game. We'll be 3-1.
Tigers will be back in action at Central next week. 7:30 game will be on KRD at 7:05. Tackling was an issue tonight. Jalen Bross, 3 rushing touchdowns. The Bulldogs had 263 yards rushing as we headed into the fourth quarter. So nearly 300 yards on the ground tonight. A very impressive performance by the Mayo offensive line. Coach Chris Wolf with a couple of calls late in that first half that were, I'll say, gutsy, and they worked out for the Bulldogs. But it was one of those nights, and we talked about it throughout, where a couple of things happen, and you look at each other and go, it's just not our night.
First possession, the Mayo has the ball. Tigers have a
Pick
chance.
6, yeah.
And Cummings knocks it away from Gilliam, who had a good chance to go in with it. First possession for the Tigers. Wide open, Elijah Byrne. What was it, Byrne?
Yeah,
Elijah Byrne, and just missed him by about a yard. Would have been a touchdown. He was 5 yards behind him. Tigers go
And then
down.
all of a sudden you look up, it's 28-0.
28-0, and then they scored 2 touchdowns and cut it 14 points late in the first half. Think you're going to get the ball back. Mayo's got the ball in their own territory. Fake a punt, and then go down and score a touchdown. And 23 unanswered points gets you a running clock, and it's, I think you said it best, John, humbling tonight, because you've been on that other side before, and you know, it's how you rebound, how you take this off. And I guarantee you the coaching staff's going to be right back on them. They're going to put this one behind them and move forward.
We'll take one more break, come back and wrap things up here on a 51-14 Mayo win. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Black Bow, I guess, on this 51-14 Mill victory. St. X dominated tonight by the Bulldogs, who ran for 282 yards total on the ground, most of those coming in the first three quarters. The game finished with a running clock. Tony and I were talking about it, and we've been around since the running clock started. We cannot ever remember the Tigers being on the losing end of a running clock until tonight.
No, John. I mean, there's been some big losses over the years, but yeah, I mean, we've been very fortunate as St. X program that those things don't happen. And you know what? You've been on both sides now. Don't let it happen again. Get yourself better. Improve by the season goes on. But we talk about it all the time. Central next week. You go to Bowling Green. You play Trinity. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, Central's struggling tonight, but that's still a good team at Central. It's how you rebound for that one. Then you play a really good Bowling Green team on the road, and then you go over to Cardinal Stadium and play the Trinity Shamrocks, who won big tonight against Moeller.
And Chris Grisani reminds us that in 1986, I think it was, Moore beat St. X 40-0 in the regular season. Tigers won the state championship with Jeff Houck at quarterback.
I talked to Jeff Houck for the game. That's ironic.
That is ironic.